hopefully good. Happy Monday. Oh my good gracious, oh my good golly, oh my, oh Miss Wally, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Oh my god, Christmas posting is just around the corner. Worry not, my god. We're gonna come back, you're gonna be sick of it. We're gonna come back with so much Christmas. Oh my god. I thought I should wait, you know. I thought I should at least wait until we're like a little further into November. Usually I try to hold off till December, but by god, I might just swing into it. Thanksgiving, never heard of it. What, you think you're a cool holiday? What, just cause you got turkey and stuff? I don't think so. Who cares about no Thanksgiving? Hey, unimportant holiday. You know why? What? You think there's gonna be some sort of sorrowful video? What with anthropomorphic fox that somebody could watch about that holiday? I don't think so. No, not you and a million other people. No, that'd be crazy. Oh my god. Yo, Tyler Aldo, I'm here to streak, then I gotta dip. King, streaking's a crime. I don't think you're allowed to do that. Oh my god. Nap, who are we voting for? Whomever you'd like, King. Whomever you'd like. You know, if you happen to be somewheres, I don't know, somewheres in the world, there's probably lots of elections going on this week, you know. You know, there's a number of cool little elections coming up. If you were perhaps in like Algeria, yeah, okay, or Brunei, you could be getting prepped for there's an election coming up in Egypt. The parliamentary election in Egypt is coming up, you know. These are all important elections, so you know, if anywhere you may be or may find yourself now that you are a legal citizen and or legally allowed to vote, I highly recommend it. You know, there's countless boards of trustees of school districts, there's sheriff positions, you know, there's lots of little electoral things coming up that come up. There's Senate races in certain districts of the United States of America. I'm sure there's elections in Europe somewhere, you know? Oh my god. Stream Shriek 127. Yo, nice. Can I vote for you? For me? For New York City mayor? No, that's not. No, they don't. That wouldn't work. You see, that wouldn't. Couldn't. You know. It's I live in Nunavut, so that's not allowed. You know, you need to be a specific type of resident. You know. Can I vote for you for Algerian mayor? Hey, you know what? Sure. That one, much looser. Much. Anybody in the world can be brought forward so long as you, you know, have big, bright ideas and some ways to make. Also, I don't think there's a mayor of Algeria, to be fair. I don't think. I think that you'd be looking for a city within Algeria, but all right. You know, I feel like maybe you don't just, there's not just like a mayor for all of Algeria, but you know, maybe they'll give it a whirl. Maybe the Algerian people would give it a whirl. They'd say, you know what? I don't think that this is the best idea. I don't even think that this is a great idea to make you the mayor of this whole country, but you know, it's definitely not a bad idea, so maybe we'll just say it's a technically good idea, you know? I thought that was pretty smooth. Hey, it is me. Je suis Napoleon. I'm gonna flip heads and tails. Heads, I vote for Cuomo. Tails, I vote for Silvio. And if it lands on the side, if it lands directly on the side so that neither heads nor tails is standing up, then what? Surely there's not some third option. 8 out of 10. I'll take it. I'll take high praise from one MJ. Oh my god. I thought it wasn't that bad, you know? I thought it fit nicely. My god. But ladies and gentlemen, we're back! We're back with Minecraft. Oh my god. Wow. Who would have thunk? Minecraft on the Napoleon VII channel? Crazy. Crazy, I know. Nobody would have suspected it. In fact, nobody could have seen this coming. A very unlikely duo, map and Minecraft, truly. But no, I hope you've all been well. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you all had some grand old Halloween tricks and treats and the like. I hope you took some time this past holiday weekend to ingest something bad for your system. You know, have some candy, some good times and the like, and that you're all the better for it. I saw some of you in the Discord had cool costumes. Ray with Boba Fett. Oh my god. Human had a sick mask. Oh my god, it was so cool. Bro's got diamond on his head. It's so true. It's so true. Diamonds on my head and my wrists, my good man. Yes. Diamond on my head, gold on my wrist. For sure. Yes. Jesus Christ. Late? Don't know what the word even means. I believe it by definition means not on time, or to say to be past the original agreed upon time. But I could be wrong. That may not be what it means. It may be something entirely different. What's up, Minecraft Monday? Let's go! Yo, great. I hope you're doing well, King. I hope you're doing well. I hope life's treating you well. You're also not late. Normally I'm still yapping. Normally I'm still yip-yapping away, but well, you know, times being what they are, it felt like a good idea to just lock in real quick and start gathering my materials. Also, when we play Minecraft, I can get my yapping out of the way whilst I collect up the initial blocks I'm gonna need. You know, I can do my little rounds. I can go from the castle to the storage area and then back around. You know, it's got a fluid motion to it. It is a way about the world, you know? Did you steal the crown jewels for your crown? Oh, I'll never tell. No, I think that was a Serbian man, actually. I mean, he may not have been. Maybe he was Croatian. Anyway, I know they caught a number of them. and others have said this already, but I will repeat it, you know? To all the people who thought that they were gonna be drop dead gorgeous, ooh, you know, they got spoiled with Luigi. They thought, oh man, all crooks, all criminals and crooks must look just like models on the runway. Well, maybe not. Maybe not so much. What I am sad about is the guy, for anybody who saw that photo with like the dude with the umbrella and the little like hat, and I think he had a pipe too, and it was like, and it was making the rounds, people being like, this guy is leading the investigation, he's a detective with the French police, and I was like, that's fantastic, I want this man to solve the crime, if for no other reason other than like, I think he will have a large magnifying glass to involve in the whole suspicions of it all, you know, where he will be like, this is the only tool that I need, my good man. I guess he'd be more French about it, but turns out not so. Turns out not the guy, not at all involved, just a well-dressed passerby. And that makes me sad. I was so excited for somebody to have some pomp and circumstance, you know? Not the song, of course. I mean, maybe the song, I don't know. Maybe he was there, maybe he drummed up the band, maybe he was ready for the like, is that pomp and circumstance? I think it is. I think so. I've been planning the additions to my historical reenactment impression. I'm gonna get an orange woolen hood that I get to wear all the time. Also, I'm gonna add some embroidery to my cloak. Yo! Wait, sick? Oh my god. Embroidery of like anything in particular, or just like cool little swirls? How about add some blue waves to the rim of my cloak? Yeah! Sounds dashing. It sounds dashing, my good man. I hate hoods usually, but it feels like it's just pressing into my head and squeezing me. But getting an Anglo-Saxon hood means the hood isn't attached to any of the coat or the hoodie that pulls, so it just sits better. Yo. True, I suppose. Yeah, I guess when you say it like that, I guess it is its own like little thing, huh? It's like a little built-in junction point. Oh, those Anglo-Saxons. What will they think of next? Probably not a lot, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't mean to speculate too much, but I can't say that you know, same with Mercia. You know, I can't say too much inventing is coming out of Mercia these days, or Hylenthia or whatever. You know. Also, the embroidery can't be anything fancy because it's still just a peasant. Hey, it could be a skilled peasant. There were peasants with skill. Hey, Shakespeare was a peasant, my friend. So, you know, a peasant can do a whole lot. Who's to say? Who's to say? It just can't be a fancy material. You know, it can't, sure, it can't be gold or purple, probably. But the design? Brother, that could be probably as fancy as you like, historically speaking. Thank you! Thank you. I'm not a skilled peasant. And you don't know any skilled peasants? There's not a one skilled peasant for a country mile. They're all far flung to the earth, you know? Oh, Dios mío. Bop. They've all been cast down by Gabriel or something. Are you guys Catholic? What stage are you in? Is that part of the reenactment, actually? Wait a minute. Do you guys have to be Catholics? Bop. Bop. Is the Pope out here still declaring things for you? Hmm? Anybody nail anything to any church doors as of late? Any kings want to get divorced? Bop, bop. It's tier 3 and 4. I'm tier half. Ah, oh, so being a skilled peasant is a different tier. I see. I can't afford skilled peasant. Ain't that just the way? Ain't that just the way? That's what I say every time that I have to go get something. I go, but I can't. Every time that I go to the market and I see a cool little wooden box that was handmade and beautiful and is so expensive and like deservedly so. It was hard handmade work. But then I see it and I go, but alas, I cannot afford the skilled peasant work. Oh. Bop. It just be like that sometimes. Yo! Whiplet! Ow, no. Pre-Reformation. Well, hie thee hence, my friend, to the nearest witch's brew and send somebody careening into like a witch trial. It's the only way. It's your only recourse in this. You know, go find a skilled peasant. Tell them, hey, you're going to make this for me, or I will hie thee hence declare ye a witch. And they'll go, huh? And then you turn to all your friends and you go, witch! And then they put on trial. I assume that's how that happens. I presume that you have such recourse available to you. Are they nailing anyone to crosses or other shapes? No. That's a bit before the Catholicism. Oh. Officially T2, but I imagine it's T1.5, TF2. Hey! Boink! My God, that was just ripped from me. I didn't even mean to do that. There was a response somehow. I'm doing all right, yo. Glad to hear it, dude. Did you have a good Halloween if you celebrate? Hopefully you got some discounted candy or free candy, perhaps. Bop. Bingus, Reverend Bingus. Bingus? What with the cat from the early 2020s? What is that? The little cat from nigh on half a decade ago, I dare say. Whatever happened to that cat? Hope he's alright. Hope life's treating him well. It should. He's been through a lot, you know? I feel like he deserves a good quiet life after all that's happened. Oh, all right. Bop. We don't have witch trials. Witchcraft is illegal, but we can't call anyone a witch because that would mean admitting there's a greater power than God, and there is none. It would be blasphemous to accuse someone of witchcraft in our period of 1120 to 1220. Well, now I want to know. Now I really want to know if between 1120 and 1220 anybody ever was declared a witch. I feel like yes. Like, sure, it's outside of the Salem trials, but like, I could be wrong. Actually, I guess in fairness, not that many people ever actually were burned at the stake for being a witch, and that's kind of a myth, but still. Sorry, I'm tired because I intentionally forced myself to go to sleep so my dad would ask me to drive my sister to the glass. What kind of elite ball knowledge is this? What do you mean? So there I was, see, and I forced myself to sleep, yeah, so that I wouldn't have to be asked to be the one to drive the boss to their meeting, yeah, see? Crazy choice. Insane. Not like a pretend to be asleep. No. Full on. I chose to be unconscious so that I could not therefore be pressed onto the gang with which would take my immediate not heir, what's the word I'm looking for? My immediate kin to their timely going ons, you know? So essentially the law is, if witchcraft was a thing, it would be illegal. Looks off camera to the church holding them at gunpoint. It's not possible, of course, but if it was... Oh my god. Of course, not possible in the slightest, but, you know, in the hypothetical... Well, then simply threaten them with heresy. Say you shall embroider my garments. I shall swear a writ of affidavit before God Almighty that you were committing a heresy. Oh, wait, are you guys allowed buttons? Is that a thing? Or are you not allowed buttons? I know that's an Amish thing, but I can't remember if that's a thing based on the Amish and the Pilgrims were like religious zealots who got kicked out, but like, does that mean there was a time that their ideas were in church? I really don't know enough about early medieval period. The medieval period of Europe is truly a time period, and particularly the early medieval period, but medieval Europe in general is just one of those time periods that I know so little about. It was so... the ancient world, jump all the way to the Age of Enlightenment, and that's where my interests lay. When it comes to Europe, at least. And so I don't know too much. I mean, I know about like the 100 Years' War, stuff like that, but that's way after, you know. When were the Pilgrims? That's a great question. When were the Pilgrims? Let's see. Okay, so no, not the no, I don't mean the Thanksgiving pilgrims, who were like 1600s. When did the Amish come to the Americas? The late 1600s to early 1700s. Well, that's so much later than the medieval period. I mean, mind you, like, nobody would have been coming here till after the, like, late 1400s, really, in terms of, like, mass amounts. So they're already out of the, like, they're leaving the age of that's what, the high medieval period? The end of the high medieval period? This is like King John and the Magna Carta and the Second Crusade. Oh, I see. Said the blind man to his deaf daughter. The medieval times ended with the printing press. I know that much. I know what you mean, but I love the idea that Hans Gutenberg, I don't think his first name was Hans, but I love the idea that Gutenberg ran out, made the very first printing press, just like a single device. Printed one thing, like got like 6 letters in a row, just got the vowel, just got the A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y, and then busted out through the door, ran onto the street, shoved the town crier to the ground, and grabbed his bell and went ding 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 ding, oh yay, medieval times is over. Like it was a declared thing in an instant, and everyone everywhere is just rejoiced. They went, oh, I love the Renaissance, yes. Iconic. We left early today, but we went to get breakfast before I dropped her off so I could take her meds with food. She ordered a milkshake, and I was like, no, that's going to add time. She waved me off dismissively. In shock and horror, they filled their sandwiches fast, but then took 5 extra minutes to make the shake. And it's like, girl, you're the one who's gonna be late to class. I'm just driving you. And shock and horror till we get her to class late because of it. MJ, how could you do this to us? Why, pray tell, didn't you stop me from ordering the shake? Oh, what's back here? Hello? Hello, ominous pit? Oh no, it's just coal. It's just coal that I left. Yippee! Reset. Well, I used to sleep through her morning classes, but I've been getting decent, real good sleep lately. Yo! Nice. But that means I have to go through the garbaggio that is driving her to class, so I figured if I was just asleep, I could skip that. You know? Kinda genius. That's some Ferris Bueller style thinking, you know? I'll give you that. That's some like 80s shenanigans, but like good ones, and not ones that are like, you know, morally reprehensible and concerning by today's standards. You know? It was Johan's, wait, was I close with Hans? Wait a minute. Who made the printing press? It was Johann! Hans Works! Hans Works, baby! Never doubt me again! I pulled that out of thin air! Oh my god. I may not know my medieval period discourse and when the witch trials were, but I know who made the printing press. I did a whole project on the printing press in like 7th grade. Yo! honestly, that's probably the best thing to come out of public education is the random eclectic knowledge that people will maintain for like just decades to come, where like, you know, I like to think somebody somewhere is gonna be like on their deathbed and just be like, hey, always will remember how the 7 Years' War went and how it was related to the fall of the Spanish Empire, you know? Or some other such thing like that. Like, I'll always remember how the Panama Canal got built. Just fantastic. Just fantastic little details that'll come. Like, no. Forget your loved ones flashing before your eyes. No. None of that. You will be cursed forever to only remember the unit on, like, I don't know, the wives of Henry VIII, or some other such thing, like the molasses explosion, you know? That is your curse. You will fade off, surrounded by friends and families, only recalling of those poor devils taken out by the mass molasses explosion, you know? It was a tragedy, to be sure. What a way to go, you know? What are they gonna write on your grave? Died how he lived? I don't think so. Driving to class drives me a little crazy. I mean, kind of understandable if you're stopping for milkshakes. I feel like that's out of the initial ask. You know what I mean? It feels like a secondary location. I could be wrong. Maybe my assessment just comes from a position of like I just was never driven anywhere by like siblings to places because it's just you catch the bus. But you know, like so I didn't have to worry about that. But I feel like that counts as a secondary location, and ergo is no longer part of the initial journey. Oh my god. I was there in the molasses flood. I remember it all. No, but for real, wait, what if if VR gets good enough and like and or like AI just takes over and then you like just exist through VR segments of like experiencing historical moments. Like at what point will your brain be tricked when you're like 802 and dying to be like, no, I was there, and it's like, no, Grandpa, no, you were playing VR. For some reason, somebody made a VR game of the Great Molasses Flood. But you know, yeah, you weren't really there, Grandpa. That was like 100 years before you were even like a thing. You know what? That's if I ever become an indie game developer, which I won't. I have no game development capability in my body. But you know, if it's gonna be like a Telltale game, but each chapter is gonna be a different major historical moment. And there will be alternative endings. There will be like, especially if it's ones where it's like we're not totally sure what happened. Ooh, baby. Oh baby, you best believe, I still really do believe in my idea for a game that is being a number of investigators. It would be like so short-lived because everybody knows everything about games before they buy them now. But like the idea being like it reveals that you start in Cherbourg, France as like investigators of some like, you know, wealthy industrialist, turn of the century industrialist, and then you end up sneaking into like a crate to follow him because he's gonna be going to the Americas, and you're like, yeah, and then you wind up on the Titanic, but you don't know you're on the Titanic, and then it gets really Eldritch Horror-esque really quick because there was a lot of weird stuff. There was a mummy aboard that ship. There was a sarcophagi and a mummy and a lot of other weird voodoo and hoodoo. It's not weird because it is voodoo and hoodoo. It's just it was weird that it was on the Titanic on its maiden voyage, when it went down, as well as the Mummy, as well as a number of other issues that went on in like the chapel. I think the library had some reports of like ghosts. A lot of crazy stuff, you know? Oh, based on that Call of Cthulhu session you read. Yeah, that little mini campaign that I had been running. And then I also just feel it would make for a great, like, either Telltale style chapters, like semi-cutscene story-esque type quick time event thing, or like a point and click event, like where you just like walk, pick up, read the thing, set down, walk, pick up, read the thing, set down, and see if you can piece together the mystery, you know? I feel like it'd be sick. I feel like it'd be great. And it would be like, oh, the Titanic really went down because of Cthulhu, and that would, I mean, probably not. I'd probably pick somebody else. Feels a bit on the nose. But Eldritch Horror, I feel like we're far enough away from the Titanic's actual sinking that like a video game could be made about it. That's like, you know, what if scenarios and like kind of Twilight Zone-esque, you know? I mean, I just drive her every day because it helps my parents out a lot, but I do it every day, and then I do delivery driving at night, and that's my entire day. Ooh, it says like a lot of driving. I hope it's a comfortable vehicle. I hope it's a comfortable seating. The game would be called Ocean Gate is crazy. That is diabolical. And then again, you know, that's, hey, you know, it exploded. Was it a safety malfunction? I don't know. Who's to say, you know? I would be more remorseful about that incident, but also the guy's like own kid went to like a concert the next day. Like he really seemed to like not get, so I have to assume that the crazy guy who ignored all safety precautions kind of, you know, just, I don't want to say got what he deserved. That feels dark and kind of cynical, but I mean, what else was gonna happen, you know? Kind of seems like the most logical outcome happened. We're far enough away to make a Titanic 2, so I think it's fine. That's true. There is the guy who's been, I mean, in fairness, he's been trying to make, if you mean the Australian billionaire, he's been trying to make the Titanic 2 since like 2018, I want to say. When did that guy start? For those that don't know, there's like a billionaire who's been trying to launch a second Titanic for like a long time. Read my other messages relevant to a joke you were making 10 minutes ago. I saw on TikTok today a gamer creating the Nutty Putty Cave to look to like a shocking accurate degree, including the part where the guy got stuck and died. The hell's the Nutty Putty Cave? What does that mean? What was I about to look up? I forget. It's left my mind now. I have no. Oh, the billionaire, the Australian billionaire. Titanic 2, Australian billionaire. Clive Palmer. That's his name. I planned maiden voyage for June of 2027. Sure, man. Best of luck to you. Yeah, this thing's crazy. This thing's like a genuinely nuts effort. Dude made the Blue Star liner because it was like the White Star Line was the original company. I think that's now defunct, but still owned by one of the major cruise lines. I'm actually really getting into Eldritch Horror since we're on the subject. I'm writing the Eldritch Horror inspired Percy Jackson fanfic right now. Yo, hey, that makes sense, you know, horrors of the deep. That's kind of Poseidon's whole thing. What with the Kraken, the Nutty Putty Cave. While you're look up the Nutty Putty Cave while you're at it. Development for the project resumed in 2018. Oh, okay. Well, a hiatus. It began in 2015. Of course. Oh, what a crazy man. The company would remain silent on the project for over 5 years, did not release any further updates relating to the ocean liner until the 13th of March 2024, when it was announced Titanic 2 would set its maiden voyage in June 2027. Insane choice. He's putting everything into it. I'm pretty sure he's putting like all his. It's gonna be, well, I mean, probably with some more safety features this time around. I wonder if they're gonna make the same voyage. I wonder if that's the plan, like, to try, just give it a good old second go. And what if that fails? Is that like a sign at that point? Is that a sign that things weren't meant to be? Probably. It's like, it's gotta be, right? Like, that's gotta be like a telltale, like, hey man, let's stop. But then again, I don't know who all's gonna be. You know what? In fairness, if of all the things billionaires are doing right now, kind of not the worst. Kind of like not the most awful. Like, hey, at least he's getting wacky with. You know, if I were a billionaire, I'd probably try to put all my money into bringing back Zeppelins. So, like, fair enough. You know what? Fair ball to him. The icebergs. Imagine, no, instead they have like a giant, like, Archimedes laser built onto the thing of just a 1,000 mirrors. just ready in case any, like, he's going real old fashioned with it, and just it's set in case anybody off the port side goes iceberg dead ahead, and they just laser it down. Oh, awesome. I'm sorry, this is insane. I was talking about the film, not a great film, but what I've heard. Conspiracy, this guy's descended from the cultists trying to raise Cthulhu, and they're making a new Titanic to try again. Conspiracy theory, and it's based off Napoleon VII's random Call of Cthulhu campaign he ran. Can you imagine though? Like, it's a theory that gets legs, like enough like random creepypasta type things get posted around online. It becomes like an online conspiracy theory, but then somebody looks into it, and that's where it originates. Oh god, I wish that would be a great legacy to have. Oh, I don't think I could ask for a better legacy online. Truly, the peak of online creation, when you become the origins of some eldritch horror story. Oh my god! Exactly, no more trustworthy source than my fictitious campaign. Oh my god! If I were a billionaire, I too would try to bring back Zeppelins, right? They got a bad rep, man. I'm telling you, Zeppelins, great way to travel. Much better for the environment there. Big cruise ship in the sky. They're great. They'd be so fun. They'd be inherently enjoyable. They're whimsical. And, you know, I know what people will say. They'll be like, Nap de Hindenburg. And I'll look them in the eye and I'll say, hey, that was full of hydrogen. It was meant to be full of helium. Zeppelins are filled with helium, but it was full of hydrogen because we were sanctioning the Nazis. And they filled it, so they didn't have a helium reserve to draw from because America wouldn't sell them helium because it was a strategic resource. And so they filled it with hydrogen because that also works. But on the flip side, it's highly flammable. So listen, normally Zeppelins, very safe, cannot go up into a ball of flame like that, you know? Imagine looking at it in Nordic fjords and Lake District, the Grand Canyon from the sky. Exactly. adventure is out there. Like, you just bring back that Pulp Fiction-y, old-timey adventure style. I guess what I'm saying is I want to be, now I'm realizing what I'm doing. I just want to be the villain from Up. Minus the villainy and the talking dogs, I guess, but, you know, now that, now that I've walked through my, now that I've walked through my plan, I kind of realize I'm advocating instead to just be the villain from Up. That's my bad. That's, ooh.
Here's my pitch. Helium 2.
This time more flammable. Wait. Hey, what if we said it was helium, but it's actually hydrogen, and we just play the song Helium by Glass Animals for the whole duration, and that's how we get it by the approval board. Oh god. The talking dog part would be cool though. You know what? You got me there. Giving dogs the ability, you know, what even was his villainy? Now that I think about it, remember how Up had a villain? Never meet your hero. Jesus Christ! I hate it here. I hate it here so much. Gombar! I will have revenge. I will have recompense. Oh my god. Oh. He wanted the bird. Right, the weird bird. Okay, yeah, he was a villain. I forgot. You're right. He was an animal, like a hunter, sport hunter. So he was hunting it for sport or whatever, just to have it as his collection. Now that I look back on it, Up is not memorable. Up is like WALL-E, and what I mean by that is the beginning of both of those movies is what everybody loves and remembers, or is like, oh, how emotional it was. Nobody actually likes the rest of it. Not truly. I mean, most people don't dislike it. Most people aren't like, I actively hate the rest of Up, and I hate WALL-E. You know what I mean? Nobody's like that. But you don't. Nobody's favorite movie is WALL-E. You know what I mean? And if they say it, it's like, no, you like the beginning up until the point where he's on the ship with the people. You like when he's blasting around in space. You like when it's a silent short film. You like that when he's just like, you know, you like that. Frick you, man. WALL-E's a beautiful love story. I'm not saying it's not. Listen, WALL-E is a decent movie. It is a decent movie. It's a great beginning and just an okay rest of it. That's what I'm saying. WALL-E has an amazing opening, like probably one of the greatest sequences of animation ever put to screen for an opening. And then the rest is just, yeah, all right. It's good. It's not bad. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's not bad. It's just all right. I feel like I can tell you some of the middle plot points of WALL-E. I love WALL-E. I watched it a lot, but I genuinely didn't remember the dodo was in it or why there was a villain or anything. I remembered the dodo. I just forgot he was like relevant to the villain. I had forgotten the villain's motivation. I'll give you that. Up is way more forgettable than the rest of WALL-E. I definitely agree with you there. WALL-E is a lot more memorable overall, maybe in part because it's about like climate change to a degree, and that just really rang like maybe that was just really relevant to a little nap, you know, where I went, the world's gonna explode. I don't know why Little Nap canonically sounds like that Mickey Mouse from the "You crammed your soul into a ukulele." What happened? Oh man, thoughts on Nemo? Oh, Nemo bangs, man. Start to finish, Nemo's good. Nemo's got lots of great set pieces. It's got a good A and B plot. You're not bored with Nemo or Marlin. Both are good storylines. You like seeing the reoccurring characters of the other fish in the tank, and there's genuine tension there from the dentist's like shop of like, oh, something's gonna happen. Like, you know, we get multiple attempts at like escape for them. That's important, like breaking the fish tank. Man, yeah, Nemo. Start to finish that thing back. You got the Crush as well, who's just like a great comic relief character without being too like heavy-handed. I think Bruce is really fun, and that's a good set piece. Hot air can be used to lift for lift. Hydrogen can be used for lift. Now consider not hot hydrogen, even more lift. Oh, you'll get some lift for like a second. Wally's great case study in giving robots personality and emotions while still having them be intrinsically robots. See, I don't know about that. I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of humanity installed into Wally and into Eve that makes it become, you know, what would be the word? Humanized? Humanist? I don't think it's anthropomorphic. That's for animals. I don't know what the word for that is for robots. I would say Up is more memorable than the middle of Wally. Nah, I can't tell you much about for Up. I remember the dog finding them. I remember Russell's like thing is just, you know, he's a Boy Scout who needs to get his badge. There's something about like there's something about like there's like the impetus for Up, I'm pretty sure, is an old folks home is trying to or a big company's trying to buy him out of his plot of land and are using him like crashing out on like on a construction worker as justification to have him committed to a home, which is crazy, so that they can take his house. And so then he's like, I'm gonna pursue my dream that I've always had and use a bunch of balloons to fly away and move my house to the Grand Canyon, which will not work out long term because plumbing, but you know, sure. I don't recall if he had a fix for plumbing. Maybe he did. Maybe he was like, no, I figured out how to get fresh water. But I don't think he did. I can remember all of Wally's plot points, but no scenes. I can remember the scenes with the people going by, like starting to become aware of the screens. I can remember the captain with like the sequence of the paintings of all the different captains getting slowly like fatter and fatter until it's eventually the guy, and becoming more animated as that goes because it's like very like realistic portraits until it becomes like Pixar animation. I will say I agree about Up. I remember basically nothing outside of the tragic beginning. That's fair. I can tell you what happens in Wally. I don't remember why anything happens in Up. As far as I know, the house goes to the waterfall with no interruptions. There's like a storm and it doesn't fully make it there, in part because of Russell. It's a mall that's built around him. They just want him to they just want to send him to a home. Yeah, because he won't sell his land. They won't sell his land, and they want to send him, and they can't buy him out, and so they just start construction around them. And then at one point, one of the construction workers like breaks his mailbox, which is his only memory of his wife, so he hits him with his cane, and then that's the justification they need to be able to call to be like, hey, this guy's a danger to others. Send him to the principal's office. I want him expelled. You know? I need to go to bed. Good night, nap. Good night, chat. Night, Grant. Sleep well, dude. Have a good rest of your week. Bye. I remember a lot of the ending of WALL-E, and I remember not liking how green the ship got. I don't remember it getting green. See, that's the thing, is I do remember the end of WALL-E being stupid in the way that it was like, okay, that one planet, like, this is not a livable planet, nor will that one I'm sure that it was in the movie. I'm sure there's a plot point in the movie to be like, no, they have all the things they need in the ship to terraform the Earth and bring it back to health again. But like, that planet is covered in garbage. Well, sure, WALL-E made it into cubes, but like, that place is not good to move back to, you know? To be fair. Hey, to be fair, that guy, that's a lot of, yeah, honest to God, why was he not on a list for how many balloons he had? Maybe he wasn't mentally all there. Yeah, the real reason they were called was not because he attacked anyone. It was because they discovered from his like they discovered from his credit card. They were like, this guy just he spent his life savings on balloons. I think a scam's going on here. They're like legitimately concerned. WALL-E had a comic book series. It did? Like, by who? Dark Horse? Outside of cartoon logic, that should be a sign. What do you say? What are you saying? Also, I do recall the wedding sequence from Up, only because that's when I learned what a shotgun wedding was, because they had a tongue-in-cheek bit with a guy on one side of the aisle shooting off a shotgun. Because like one family was super like prim and proper, and then the other was like really wild, like stereotypical redneck behavior, or quote unquote hillbilly behavior. There's not a memorable there's not as memorable scenes in WALL-E where they break a defective robot out of the psych ward, and then WALL-E really gets my mental ball rolling as they meet all the robot models with all the robot names, and they fall into the trash compactor and meet WALL-E, or Wall-A, which is a giant trash compactor, Waller Axiom, the ship, as opposed to Wall Earth. Brother, do I just not remember WALL-E? What the hell are you talking about? I'm sure you're right, because I don't think you could make all that up on the fly, but I'm sorry, what? There's other robots? Wall Axiom? I don't remember none of that. And I guarantee most people don't. I say with immense bias on my own hand, you know? No clue who made it. The cubes were inserted. Classic. I know that though. True, but you guys are the WALL-E crew. You guys have been promoting. I was like, I don't think anybody remembers WALL-E, and then the biggest fans of WALL-E known to man happen to be in chat, you know. And I went, oh my, Dios mío, you know. Do I have nothing prepared? Okay. I don't, so no one does. Nap, you better believe it, pal. You better believe it. That is A. You see what stands before you? I am a Minecraft streamer, king. We make wild assertions and back it up with nothing but a gut instinct. And if presented evidence to the contrary, we go, nah. L. What, you wanted a well thought out and crafted argument? No. That's on the YouTube channel. That's we don't do that around here. That's what the YouTube channel's for. Speaking of, Tyler is almost always dead on, but like offside. Tyler is always dead on to like when I intended for a video to come out. And it's always then like a week or two later that I can actually... Okay. Okay, deserved. All right. All right, fair enough. You know what? I was getting a bit big in my britches. Okay. All right. All right, fair enough. Touche, Gumba, touche. My God. But no, I was gonna say was, yeah, there should be, hopefully. I don't think I wanted it done for this Friday. I don't think I'll have it done for this Friday, but probably for the subsequent Friday, which, by the way, as a reminder, I have mentioned this previous weeks, but I'm gonna mention it again, is this Friday and then the following Friday, there will be, well, at least I can guarantee this Friday there will not be a stream, and the following Friday, it is up in the air as to whether or not there will be a stream. At this time, but at the very least I can tell you there will not be a stream this Friday, which is why I'd hoped to have a video done for it, but alas. I think a lot of my childhood was obsessed over the robot names and models and how the interconnected families of the robots, the Axiom Giant Trash Compactor Robot, Wall-A and Wall-E, and then all the background stuff of B&L, and I never was that interested in Disney theory. But I liked seeing how B&L was a giant property in the universe, resulting in the destruction of Earth. I think you mean Pixar theory. I think the coolest part of Up was probably the airship, which isn't what I was supposed to take away from it, and Wall-E's music from Hello Dolly. Again, I think I definitely think Wall-E is probably. It's definitely a stronger opening, despite so many people who love Up's opening or like how emotional Up's opening in. But like Up is quintessential Pixar, which opening, which to me is cheap. Pixar is very, very well known to people who be like, oh, it always gets the tears going, and it's like, yeah, well, because it uses cheap shots. It doesn't earn it. It's not earned like emotion. It's, hey, here's this objectively sad thing. Like, hey, you guys want to watch an old couple, you want to watch a couple fall in love, grow old, and die? Yeah, all the sad music. Like, that's just always gonna be sad. So it's typically, it's very rare, I think, for Pixar to truly earn the tiers it aims for. It tends to use a lot of like, because when I say that, what I mean is like earned tiers are like, oh wow, this whole movie moved me not because it's a sad thing, but because I care about the storyline and the story is moving. You could have no names attached to Up, and it would still be an objective, like, you know, as a short that is just as sad as if it appeared in the movie. You know what I mean? My New Vegas stream was definitely gonna happen this Friday. No! Alas, you're right. New Vegas is permanently shelved now. Alas. I hear a gun cock. Bop. I'm just gonna take as much as I can just so that I can move a little faster. But no, rest assured, we'll be back on the following Monday. I was hoping to either get a Wednesday stream in and or put out a video. I don't think either will be doable due to the demands of some things in real life right now. I'm also in the process of moving. So a lot has been happening for old Nap as of late. I've been getting ready for the move for the last month, and it's coming up, and boy howdy. What a time to be alive. It does definitely make me realize I have too much stuff. But well, that's just bad habits. That's just bad habits of like, you see things on the side of the road, you go, oh wait, Ooh, what's that? Is that an old gas-powered cooking stove from 1920? Ooh, let me get, what if I tinker with that? And then you never really do enough with it to justify having it. But I can't, it's 100 years old. I can't get rid of it. It seems like a tragedy. It's cool. It was built to last. Nap is cringe. So true. So true. But alas, you know, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Can't with them all. I spawned unto this world, and the Lord saith, thou shalt be cringe, you know? I don't make the rules. Oh my god, a big move. I know, right? It's only been like a month in the making. The real thing that's been the problem as of late for me has been the fact that I have a landlord who keeps just like rocking up. Just be like, I'm here to show the place to the next to new possible tenants, and I go, you need to give me notice. And they go, I did. And I go, I didn't get notice. And they go, you have it here already here. And I go, what? Yeah, you know? So that's been happening a lot. And then there was 8 minutes of short included on the DVD called Bernie, about a robot who goes around and repairs everything on the Axiom, and they tie in all the scenes from WALL-E, like they were the flying through space, and then they show how WALL-E accidentally destroyed a light pole that Bernie just fixed, and he goes kind of crazy. Wait, there's a short on WALL-E that's just a little, like, robot having a small mental breakdown? Kind of based. Kind of sick. Kind of awesome. Can't lie. You know what? I do miss when there used to be movies would come out and have all the like different like special features and stuff like that, like the behind the scenes, both the making of videos, but then also the like, you know how you'd occasionally get the bloopers, but it's the voice actors and they animated them. I feel like there's not many films that do that right now. I don't know if that's true. Maybe that's a gut feeling. But I can't think of any that are doing that. Like, I don't think if I open up Netflix, I don't think I can see the K-pop Demon Slayer, like, outtakes. You know what I mean? Which, actually, for some of the old Disney products, I do think if it's on Disney Plus, they do have some of that listed, but they only have done it for old, like, so it's all the old stuff, but... The in-character bloopers were so funny. Exactly! I mean, there's the classic I think everybody has seen before of, like, the, James Earl Jones as Mufasa, just try to get his roar right or whatever. They need to do more of that. Well, there's that, but then there's also just, like special features used to be, like, a big part of it, and you'd get little animated shorts or whatever. But it's such a quick turnaround required now for like movies that for animated movies and stuff like that. I just don't think there's time to even do any of that stuff, or at least they don't dedicate that. They're like, well, because I guess also a lot of animated movies these days, the same with video games, you don't have like a company where you like there's a bunch of developers that work there to make a game and ship a game. It's like, you know, publishers will contract people to make a game, but then as soon as the game launches, that's the end of that contract. And so they just like, you know, lay a bunch of people instead of keeping people around to be like, yeah, all right. So they'll do the post launch, and then also beyond that, they'll begin to work on whatever's next. It's not really as big these days. There's some companies that still do it, like Larian Studios, for example. They're a group that's still that has a main developer group that then was able to get some time to then like both do post-launch work and also be like, all right, now let's muse around on a few ideas of what we're gonna do next. You know, the Barbie movies had character bloopers as well. Did it? Oh, you mean the animated Barbie? But I was like, did the Barbie movie have blooper? I was like, I don't recall it having special features. But then again, I don't own it on a DVD, so. Do I have all that I need? I think so. I think so. Let me. That gets me those. Oh, I do need the smooth. Oh, I need to go. I need to go back to the furnaces. Some sunny day, I'll figure it all out before I go where I'm going. Not today, but someday. Surely, right? Can't keep going on like this forever. That'd be crazy. Why would I reference a simple movie with the word movies? You silly goober. Well, you know, people mistype. As evidenced by the fact that you type simple instead of single. And so when you say Barbie movie, my mind kind of went to the latest Barbie movie, and I went, whoa, oh, the Barbie movie? I don't remember there being any special feature with the Barbie movie. Happens. No. Okay, if I can get this all cooked up, then we should be set to go. Though I will say one thing about moving, actually, now that I think about it. I mean, well, yes, too much stuff. Another good thing about it, though, is that you find a bunch of stuff that you forgot that you ever had. Or rather, that you placed somewhere and went, oh my God, I remember looking for this 3 months ago. Oh my God. Yeah, I feel like every day is just that, like as a constant, a constant reverberating issue of just going like, ah man, there's too much stuff. Ah jeez, what's that? Hey, wait, I remember this thing. Wow. And then it's just refinding. It's, you know, you like when you clean your room or whatever as a kid, and then you just keep going back and forth between stuff until eventually you're like, wait a minute, I remember what wait, it's been forever. I haven't seen this stuff. It's been 30 years since I last saw this. You know? I have a bunch of old animated Barbie movie discs. Yo. I remember I haven't actually watched many of the Barbie movies. There was one that I was told to watch, and I did end up watching it. Somebody is one of yous in the Discord had told me to watch it, and it had that stupid little blue flying guy. Hated him. What was that guy's name? Stupid, dumb little blue flying guy in the Barbie movies. Bibble! Yes! Bibble! I hated him. Oh God, he sucked. That was the worst. A Bibble will crash your vibe every single time. That guy just lives to ruin your day. I can tell you that. Everything he desires in life is your downfall. Don't let him try to convince you otherwise. Oh, it was almost enough for two. Ah, jeez. Why the hate on Bibble? That's my little guy. Well, your little guy's a little jerk. I hate him. Little goober. I'm gonna kick him into the sun. He's the worst. He's a little Satan spawn. He does not help Barbie. Never helps her. Not really. Only hinders her efforts. He's a menace to society. Probably doesn't pay taxes. You know, he's a problem. He's a problem, and he's gotta go. Okay, listen. Some people are just problems, and Bibble is one of them. Absolute fiend of an individual. I don't know what dark sorcerer's pact Barbie formed to have to be saddled with that man, but ugh, the worst. I like the Nutcracker version though. Yeah, I think I have seen that. The Barbie Nutcracker. I think I have seen that. Mind you, I've never actually watched the actual I feel like I've only ever seen animated retellings of the Nutcracker, namely because I assume it's in the public domain. But now that I think about it, I wonder if there is like, I could probably go. I mean, I know they do it at the at theaters places, but you know, theater tickets are so expensive, so expensive due to the holidays. Oh well, there's probably some performing arts group doing it somewhere. I should look into that. A holiday tradition? Oh man. I can't believe, like, I know you were joking earlier, or I assume you were somewhat joking, MJ. I really can't believe how like quickly we're running down the clock towards December. Like, the fact that it is November now is a little I know everybody says that every year. Everybody always, I'm like, it's always like, ah, man, the year flew by. But I really do feel like it was July, August a second ago, and then now it's November. You know what I mean? Like, the year felt very paced until about August. And then now it feels like 3 months just went by in the blink of an eye. Oh yeah, whenever it gets to the end of the year, I always feel the passage of time. Yeah, well, see, there's that. Like, I mean, there's that element where I always feel that, but I feel like most years I actually have a pretty solid, like, yeah, each month has felt like a month, you know? It is one of those things where I think I'm always, there's the existentialism that I confront every year, you know, as evident by the videos that I've made, but, you know, but then there's also, like, I don't know. There's something about this year that just seemed to really shoot by in a way that I wasn't expecting. Maybe it's because I've had to do moving, and that's getting ready for that. It's just made the last month go by so quickly, and I haven't realized. I don't know, but my God, I feel like I didn't get my. I feel like I haven't gotten a proper fall. If that makes sense. Maybe I just need to go do fall things. I feel like I've been cooped up. Need to go, like, I don't know, upstate to, like, look at leaves or something. Need to go get like some old timey photos and watch leaves fall around Albusters locations where there's a bunch of Albusters who are a gnomish people, you know? Brother, what? You don't know the gnomes? The Albuster gnomes? That's a thing. That's a thing. What do you mean? That's a thing. Listen. That is a very normal. Oh God. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I need to do more fall things. I need to spend time driving my car doing deliveries, but this is the first time in like 5 years I'm back home for fall. I really enjoyed it, and I should get out of my car in a bit and just do fall. Honestly, yeah. I can't speak for you specifically, but like, I feel like for me, I've been not in the rut per se, but like in this thing where I'm like, man, I just really need to do some fall activities, and I just keep not doing them. I need to go like find, I don't know, apple cider or something, and then like sip of that, and go find like some corn maze somewheres, or some other such thing. Watch some bales of hay be thrown. Maybe the lead up to Thanksgiving will do it better. You know, like, I don't know, maybe it'll seem more fall-ish in that regard, but I left a segment. I didn't need to smelt it all. I left some of it all. I left it all to smelt. I need some of that back. Okay, good, it's not thunderstorming. I'll fight you there. How dare you slander my boy Bibble. Bibble can catch these hands, pal. Bibble is dead to me. Bibble means nothing. I walked into my neighborhood for like 2 hours one day. It was nice, but it got cold so fast. Oof. You gotta get like a nice like light jacket with like a sweater combo, you know? Doesn't feel like fall. The spooky time wasn't spooky. This year has flown by. I think we just try to survive day to day and not take in all the small things. Yeah, I do think in some capacity, a lot of the flyby period has probably been due to the sheer like mess that is the globe currently. So I do hope for any of you that especially because I know a lot of you are keyed into things like that, that you do try to find some time to be able to really like, you know, take in a sense of fall and a sense of like being in wherever you are and whatever that may be and whatever your fall traditions may be. I'm sure they're different like all around the world. I need to see if there's any fall activities tomorrow on any of the farms in my girlfriend's house. I don't know if I'm gonna find any here in the city. Wait, but that'd be cute. Go with the girl to what you call it? Some sort of cool like either tractor ride or whatever, or like a corn maze or other apple picking. Oh. Actually, that sounds really fun. Wait a minute. That sounds, I know it's cliche, but it sometimes the cliches are fun, man. Sometimes cliches are cliches and are enjoyable for that reason. At least for me. I mean, then again, I'm a total sap for like holiday periods and just like adore all things holiday-esque. The end of the year I adore always for the mixture of its melancholy, whimsy, and just kind of like poignance, if that makes sense. Which I think is clear to anybody who's been around and heard me bemoan the holidays before, or rather yippee yahoo about them. Georgia gets hit by a false fall where it gets cold but then hot again, but we are in real actual fall this year. It was nice last month with the sun setting and warm, the leaves changing color, but now it's dreary and rainy and it's cold. Hey, sounds like you need some nice hot cider to heat up your hands. It sounds like a nice time. No, I like the cliches. I think it sounds really nice to do with her. Yo, heck yeah, dude. I think that's, I don't know, that kind of stuff's always really cute to me. So I've always really enjoyed that kind of a vibe about things. Did this turn just way too early? I think it did. I think I turned way too early on that. Oh no, I think I was going to dip and then dip back. Okay, I understand. I understand that. I understand what the plan was. Okay. Let me double check how those go. They just come right out. Yeah. Two, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. Ba, 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 ba. I also highly recommend, if you can, a good fun activity. At least I've always enjoyed fun activities. If you do end up picking apples, is to then make a pie with them, or jam, or apple butter, or apple jelly, or apple other such confectionaries. Highly recommend it. It doesn't. I don't know. For me and my friends have always enjoyed doing it because it's like sometimes we mess it up and it's like geez. But that's also why it's like it's fun, you know. It's like you get something sick at the end of it. Some delicious confectionery of some sort. Oh wait, no, I wasn't gonna do that. I don't think. But you also like you know, it's something to do together that's like totally removed from like phones and apps and stuff like that. Not to sound like the biggest boomer in the world, but I gotta admit, some days, you know, it does feel a little healthier to just not open TikTok or an app or something and scroll. You know, you just go like, ooh, actually, I'm going to not do any of that today. I just also hate doing that because what if something happens and I don't, and not in a FOMO way, but like what if something happens and I gotta be around to be like baba booey. Less and less likely these days, so it doesn't seem to be as big of a problem. So I do it a bit more often, but still. She does like baking sweet treats. Like, hey, what can I say? It's the greatest thing humanity's ever done. The discovery of sweet treats. Also, pies are just so much like simpler than most people realize they are. Dude, I've crushed out so many pies before, or even like, pies difficult, crust difficult. Dude, apple crisp, easiest thing in the friggin' world. I'm very pleased to have her, and I want to do all the cliche silly things with her now. Oh, I can't wait until the new year when she moves in for college semester. Yo, yeah, dude. The cliche things are best, you know. The cliche for a reason. It's because it's fun and cute and quaint to do, you know. And let's go around like that. I do think maybe I should just extend that back another one. Yeah, I think that's gonna make more sense than what I'm doing there. It's gonna look weird if I don't. I must have just, I don't know what I was thinking when I initially made that change, but Snap got something wrong, because that is not where it should have turned. Let me go feel his chest. But yeah, the fall cliche things eventually turn into winter cliche things, and then you get the fun that is like you know, well, I guess I don't know about I mean, you know, me personally, I could be from the deep south, who's to say, but you know, not having snow seems weird, can't lie. Not like holiday, no snow ever, not at all, not even for a second. Wild, can't imagine winter, no snow. It's the one thing that I think will forever boggle my mind, just like as an idea. We get snow occasionally, but it's not common. I've gotten used to disappointment. No, the Christmas cheer. No. My God, I know what I have to do. I have to become an anthropomorphic snowman. It's the only way. I have to be made of snow so the children know something came to life one day. Oh man, I do think, depending on how some things go, actually, this with this move, I may be able to. I don't know how that'll work. Maybe we'll be able to do a Christmas cookie decorating stream. That could be cool. I don't know how we do it. I'd have to figure out how cameras work. I already am terrible enough about trying to even just put my hands on for the Lego streams, but surely there'll be the way. The Christmas cheer will show me the way. Oh, well, I think I talk about that every year. It's something I've always wanted to do as a stream, to do like, yay, Christmas cookies, yay. But then I just think we never have. Just because it's like, I get too paranoid. Which is my own bad habit. Well, good and bad habit. I don't bemoan it too much. It's probably for the best long term, but still. Some would say I'm a little too paranoid sometimes. I don't know why. Personally, I think they're a little crazy, you know? It sort of seems a little crazy. Every year after Snowmageddon to land in 2014, the snow would come a month later until eventually it was hitting in March, and then it just stopped coming at all. Last year, snow hit my hometown for the first time, and I was so sad I missed. Oh. But then a month later, it hit my college town. We got snow there after all. Yo. W. Yeah, that is one of those things where everybody. It's weird to consider, like, quite like in a genuine way, like really put thought into it. I don't want to put too much thought into it right now because it's a depressing subject. And I'm not looking to be a depressing stream. Is that like there is legitimately reason to believe that, like, I don't know, we may have to like explain snow to future generations of like, well, you see at Christmas, Timmy, it used to be this white powder snow that would come down. It was frozen water, which is just one of those really tragic things, you know. I never really bet on hitting it, but it does make me happy when it does. Yo. Honestly, it's one of those. I don't think anybody, especially, I don't know if you've ever had like thick enough snow for this kind of experience, but like the quiet that exists in like if you're out of the city, like if you go like, well, I can't say wherever out of the city is for you. For me, that's just right outside my door. I live in a very rural location, but you know, where there's just like heavy snow and everything's quiet because it's like, oh, it's almost muffling sound around you. And it's like pitch dark night, but it's like a clear but dark night, you know what I mean? Despite the fact it's snowing. It's like wispy clouds of snow, but they're heavy clouds. Oh, it's great. A magical experience. My God. Hey man, hey, let's stop that. Okay, a little less noise, Baba booey, baba booey, baba booey. How'd that not connect? Excuse me? Excuse me? You were meant to die. Why didn't you? Oh, it's a nothing nobody arrow. Good Lord. Bop, bop, bop. Okie dokie. So we'll probably finish up this wall, and then we'll be set to go. In finishing this, we'll probably do some garden layouts in this area, and then it'll be beautiful. I do need to finish the iron farm so I can actually ring the whole area in anvils. Oh Man, I really the hardcore world. I feel bad about it actually. The hardcore world. I can't say what I've been doing on it, but there's been things that have been being done on it. But for the most part, I didn't realize we haven't streamed Minecraft much like at all this year. And so the hardcore world really has been just like paused for a lot of it, which is a shame. Because I always really enjoy getting to get back into it. What I need to do is double check if Iris is updated so I could actually update to like having a more recent patch. I think I'm on 21.4 still, and I think we're on 21.10. Which again, also, I just don't know. Like, does that mean are we just never going to 1.22? Like, are we just forever this way? Speaking of cheesy cliches, my 1 year with her is December 23rd. Oh, first time in like 5 or 6 years where hosting the entire family at our house for Christmas, and I really want to get her in town on the 23rd so she can meet everyone and we can celebrate Christmas and us and dance slow, sappy songs. Oh, MJ, you big sap. Oh my god, that sounds so cute. That's so cool. Great anniversary date, by the way. You picked a stellar one there, Slugger. My god. You know, some people, like, there's good and bad days to choose. And I gotta say, 23rd of December. Great choice. Right in the lead up to. Perfect. Your romantic brain get rolling. Yo. I think that's what's perfect with the holidays. Mushy, the mushy sappiness of it all is really easily able to be incorporated into everything, you know? It's all around. You know, it's this perpetual Rockwellian existence, at least in North America. Probably to a lesser degree, less Rockwellian, I guess, in Europe. But oh man, if I could ever go to like one of those European Christmas markets, like have you ever looked up like a Christmas market in like England or in like Edinburgh kind of thing, or if you've looked it up in like France or Germany has amazing Christmas markets. There's amazing Christmas markets in a lot of like Belgium and Denmark and stuff like that, and they just look so fun. I don't know if I just have like a real rose-tinted glasses idea of like what that would be like in reality, but by god does it seem like the greatest thing since sliced bread. I gotta say, give me that 30 cc's of hot chocolate into my, just straight to my vein, and then also immediately just resurrect me with out of the Bing Crosby and I'm set, baby. I'm living La Vida Loca. You're pointless, huh? 36 buried, 0 found, huh? Gesundheit. 36 buried, 0 found. I'm so confused. Also, hi, human. Hi. I hope you're doing well, King. I hope life's treating you well. Hope the weekend was good. Your mask looks sick, dude. I know you said, I feel like you said it didn't take too long, but dude, that thing looked killer. I think, did you say 7 hours? Which is a long time, actually. But I feel like you played it as just like, hey, it just took a couple hours, you know? Yeah, he was freaking out in VC about how he ran out of time to finish it. That was unfinished? Dude, it looked amazing. Oh my god, that thing was so cool. 3, 2, 2, and then 1, and then 2, 2. Oh, this is off by 1 technically. 3, 2, 2, 1. All right. Cause yeah, 3, 2, 2, 1, and it should be 2, 2, and then it should be 3 here. 1, 2, 3. I'm always amazed with how many of you are like so, I don't know, like costumingly gift, if that's the word. Like you're all very good at the costuming art. I mean, obviously, like some of you, like Edward, are like professionals about it, and so like that's, I mean, no less impressive. Just at least has an explanation. The rest of you, my God. This will be the 23rd Minecraft stream this year. We did 50 last year. Not even half. All right, you know, MJ, you said it first. You gotta play Minecraft for the rest of the year. Gotta have a Minecraft nap week, and gotta play Minecraft for the rest of the year. It's the only way. Everything else has to be put on pause. Minecraft, only option. All right. Well, who said that? You just now. What do you mean? You just said it, MJ. You just said, "Nap gee whiz, you've only done 23 of 50. You need to hit 50." And I said, geez, you're right. I do need to hit 50. 4, 5, 6, 7. I enjoy the variety of the hardcore lore. Taking a back burner has been a shame, but I do enjoy seeing you try all the games I love. Yo, well, I'm glad there's at least been enjoyment, because that's the thing. I kind of I've never truly ever experienced, nor was I, to be truthful, but like I've never experienced a true sense of like burnout with Minecraft. Like I know people have talked about it, and you know I ebb and flow of being like super locked in or not, but like I don't think I've ever been like, man, I don't want to play Minecraft. You know what I mean? Not for any like length of time per se. But I do hope it's been enjoyable, at least, to like get this real. I've been having a blast. Streaming has led me to play more games, I think, than I ever would have. Like I would have played other games, like occasionally here and there, but you know, I was just always. I would grind Minecraft, play a bunch of it, and that was you know, play that and like Smite and whatever my friends were playing, and that was kind of it. I like the occasional and mostly just strategy games and stuff like that. But getting to play like all these cool games, even ones that we didn't play a lot of, like Hylics and stuff like that, like getting that experience of all these different games and their DLCs and stuff like that for like Outer Wilds, or now with New Vegas, or getting to play through like old classics like the Portal games and the well, I guess with this year specifically not Portal, but with Half-Life and the like. So cool. So genuinely, like, I don't know, rewarding, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes me sound pretentious, but that's what I mean. Like, it's like a genuinely, like, rewarding experience to get, like, actual insight into these really classic games that, for lack of a better word, like, made game mean what it is today. It's really cool. Especially because so many of you are so knowledgeable in each of them. Like, I mean, which is why like people are requesting them and stuff like that, and everybody's so knowledgeable. And it's super interesting because you're also very respectful, where like a lot of you will be like, oh, I don't want to spoil anything. I'll be like, nah, like if I'm absolutely lost, I appreciate it. Because like if I'm absolutely lost, 9 times out of 10, I probably would have just looked it up. You know what I mean? Like I would have been like, all right, how do I do this? I try to give things a good old college try. That also, in fairness, that's been another good thing about streaming it. I'm far less likely to give in to my base instinct of being like, gee, you know what? This is taking time. I'm just gonna do whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm way more likely to be like, no, I refuse to admit that this game is besting me. Yo, Utah, I'll do. Long time no see, dude. Hope you've been well. Hope life's treating you well. Yo, Canadian, I'll do. All right, map and stream quick. Diabolical. Genuine. He's gonna get a complex. Poor Canadian. Happened to normally show up, whatever, like, insane. Hey, thank God he's here today, you know? There's no stream Friday, Canadian, so... So, hey, you planned it right. You figured it out. You got it all locked in correct. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Most of them well, however, currently have a cold. Ooh. This sucks. Hopefully it's not the sniffles. I don't know, for me personally, anytime I've ever had a cold and it's been like sinus based, I end up like there's something about like where you've either like blown your nose so much or like where it gets like the skin around your nostrils becomes like stingy. I don't know. It's been, you know, it's been abrased too much, and so like it's like rubbed raw kind of thing, and so it's cracked or whatever. And then it just stings even to like blow your nose. Sucks. Worst feeling in the world. I also just hate anything that like nasal drips and stuff like ugh, the worst. Well, hopefully you have a speedy recovery, King. Me personally, being sick, you know, take my left arm first. I say that having never lost my left arm, so I do reserve the right to change my opinion on that stance, as maybe being hyperbolic if I ever do lose my left arm. But for now, I'm gonna say take my left arm first, you know? 6, 7 is crazy. I'm just counting out. Oh my god. I know I have a friend who has to I think he's starting his like placements or whatever for school and stuff like that, and with for like teaching in younger kids. And he has to genuinely count in like Spanish and like, or just other languages whenever he's doing head counts for himself. Because if he says 6 or 7, he's cooked. He's cooked. It's all they'll talk about. And I'm like, man, that's kind of crazy. I mean, I guarantee I was probably just as bad as a kid, but about some other stupid meme thing. But my god. Now, Nap, I heard you mention Portal in your list of games you enjoyed. Can I put you down for Portal Co-op next week? Yeah, sure. How about Friday? The joke here, chatters, being that next Friday also may end up being scrubbed as a stream. Hopefully not. That one depends on how a move goes. Because I have to leave. I have to move. It's probably for the best long term. Trash can is overflowing with tissues. No! No, it is a nasal taste. No! Not a sinus. No! Devastating. Hey, you know, you can't win them all. Can't win them all. They say that you can, but you can't. I was out to dinner with some friends the other night, and then one guy just kept doing over and over to bug his girlfriend. Well, you know, ain't that just the way? Turn that off. Typically, I typically write in Roman numerals. I feel like that just becomes cumbersome, like long term. Like yes, I know they have, you know, like C and M and stuff like that that could be used for hundreds and thousands and the like. But like at a certain point, surely that's more cumbersome than just writing in the like Arabic numeral system. Also, you don't have a 0 then. You just have no zeros. Does that imply if next Friday isn't scrap, you'd legally obligated to give me Portal 2 co-op? No comment, no comment. Hopefully I'm feeling better by the end of the week because I'm supposed to go to Comic-Con with my girlfriend. Yo, nice. W. Comic Cat? Comic Cat? Which Comic Cat? What Comic Con's coming up, actually? Is it San Diego coming up? Or did that already happen? Who knows? I'm not gonna dig that further. Rhode Island Comic Con. Ooh, nice. Hopefully you're all patched up. Well, surely at that point, if you're showing symptoms now, I say with all of my no doctor capabilities, no medical degree whatsoever, and no ability to give medical advice, I do say, so far as the old wives' tales I've ever heard, is that once you've started showing symptoms, you were already sick 3 days before that, and then are usually beginning to be on the mend 2 days after that. So hopefully you'll get over the hump of it. Cause that'd suck if to be sick instead, you know? And hopefully the symptoms aren't too bad beyond the nasal elements, you know? Hopefully it's not like a bad headache or anything else like that. Or aches and pains. What is that? Huh. The hell was that? Jitters community. Okay, I have a super bad brain fog all day. See y'all next week. I don't know if this was iconically connected to the fog that you usually have going on, King. I assume not. But in any event, hopefully it clears. Have a good rest of your evening, dude. Have a great week. Boy, bye, Canadian boy. Oh, I know exactly when I got infected. It was my girlfriend's brother. He went to the movies with us and didn't tell us he was sick till later. Devious. Actually diabolical. Oh, bro, think about it. You doing in a post-COVID world, not telling some people you're sick. That's oh my god. I'd be pissed. I'd be mad, actually. What's he muttering about? I was muttering about because I thought I heard something. Yeah, 1 second, chat. 1 second. I'm just gonna. I will be right back. No. Nope, I was wrong. Never mind. I thought that was something else. My bad. My bad. I just didn't take a glance. The kids? I don't own any goats. What do you mean? Oh. But in any event, I apologize. Where were we? I actually was concerned that there was somebody here to showcase the place. I was like, oh, never mind. Just with like no prior warning or nothing, just like we're here, and I'd be like, 1 second, I gotta go end my Skype call. just give me a second. I just gotta end a really important Skype call, but I just gotta really go end it really quick. Just don't mind me. What, you don't have transition screens on your on your Skype call? That's crazy. What do you mean Skype doesn't exist anymore? No, you sound insane. No, you sound crazy right now. No. The Skype exists. Skype exists. They just don't want to admit it exists, you know, but we know. Oh yeah, Skype, we're all big Skype heads around here. The classic. Oh god. You know what I do wish, by the way? This is a total sidebar that just crossed my mind. Because for something that I need to learn more about is the Byzantine Empire, and in doing so, I wish there were more fantasy books set in, or like just storylines set in that kind of a world. Not because it would be the best researched kind of existence, but come on, you could at least say, like, it doesn't all have to be courts and kings and in far-flung places or made up my own fantasy, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? You'd think for something as impactful as the Byzantine Empire that went on to become the Ottoman Empire and so on and so forth, that there'd be at least some either like sci-fi or fantasy what if type books for if it continued, or just like that it inspired a fictitious fantasy world. But no, everybody takes the Roman allegories and everybody takes like Greek or Egyptian and everything like that. Nobody ever takes the Byzantine Empire. And it's annoying me because I don't want to go do all the research that I need to do for it. I want to just read a fantasy series that'll give me an approximation. Come on. Ah, well. Get with them all. But hey, if any of you know of a Byzantine-inspired fantasy world / story, boy howdy, send it my way. Or even just fiction that takes place in the Byzantine Empire. That too would be useful. Oh, there was an author I used to. I'm blanking on his name. He would write about Rome during like I want to say Vespasian and stuff like that. I don't know any Byzantines. Alas. Here, MJ, I thought you were to be the one, the King of Kings, ready to deliver on to me the Byzantine experience. I'm actually kind of surprised there's no Fallout inspired, but I mean, I guess that's the same well twice. So you can't have two ancient societies inspired factions. Lame. I think there should be. I think Caesar's legion should come up against the Constantinople's. I think that would be cool. I think that would be based. Actually, speaking of, no spoilers. Beyond, there's a preliminary image, so it was released for season 2. So there shouldn't be any spoilers. It's all pure speculation. I don't know anything about season 2 of Fallout. I haven't finished season 1 of Fallout, but curious about them. They're kings, you know. Curious as I think in part it's just we want a lot of the same thing around each main character, and so they just kind of were like, yeah, sure, a bunch of ghoulified kings. But I am curious though if this is going to be an Elseworld version, like maybe this is somewhat explained from the end of like, is the end of Fallout the TV series, is that post New Vegas timeline? Is that meant to be taking place? Like, is this meant to be post the events of the game? I didn't realize that. I thought we were like still way before the events of Fallout New Vegas. I thought we were like exactly at like the distance. Like, I thought we were not 2077, but I thought we were like 200 years after. Which maybe I'm just misremembering. Isn't that when the actual whatchamacallit takes place? When New Vegas takes place? You fiend! You ruffian! Get out of here, skeleton command. Fallout is post New Vegas, the show rather. Oh, okay. Weird. So then they're gonna have to canonize one of the endings? Is that the idea? That they're gonna be like, this is the official ending of Fallout New Vegas, whether you like it or not, buckaroo. And at the end of the day, Yes Man wins. Oh, I hope we get Yes Man. That'd be cool. I actually haven't seen anything, and maybe they have produced something. I haven't seen anything of Mr. House's various robots. Yeah, man, that's what we've been worried about since season 1. Thanks for joining the conversation. They haven't canonized one. They have to canonize one of them. Huh. Thanks for joining the conversation. It's such a funny thing to say. Yeah, pal. Thanks for cleaning the beeswax out of your ear and joining the gosh darn conversation for once. Oi, gewalt. Like as though this was like some. Oh, it's just very funny to me. Uh-oh, it's gonna be nighttime. I didn't mean to come out here in the middle of the night. Oh, I should probably turn on my monster noises. Well, I'll be curious then. You know what? I mean, part of me, honest to God, I think I know what one I want them to canonize, not because it's the ending that I like the most, but it would be the most interesting for their show. And I think I would want them to canonize like Mr. House wins. And I think the only reason I like that is because that is a whole new layer that I don't think you've seen anything of. Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like that's the most interesting one to explore of like, okay, and what if House, like, sure, you might be like, oh, well, it's going to be more of the same, but like, it's really not, because he's going to be able to take on the new California Republic and Caesar's Legion and deal, like, he'd be a very powerful entity at that point. And that's like the kind of weird, future-y, cheesy storyline that I think would be fun for a TV show. So I don't know the exact setup of everything, but one of the things that can happen between factions in Freeside is that the kings are unknowingly drinking irradiated water if you don't help fix something in the vault, the hotel on the strip. I think that's the theory I've seen people go with as to why they're ghouls. Oh, but I don't want them all to be ghouls. Nah, come on. I want them to have the dog with the brain. But yeah, I think Mr. House winning is like not the best like outcome game-wise, but I think it's the most interesting one to actually explore in a TV show. Because you get this like Walt Disney-esque character, you know what I mean? Like you get this real like Walt Disney-esque like visage of a character that's really just attached to like a megalomaniac, Walt Disney, but like crazy mad scientist as well, you know what I mean? Like an Oppenheimer-esque type figure as well. And yeah, the kings are a genuine faction. I don't want them to kill them off. That would suck if they're ghoulified, but making them fully feral, that would make me sad. Yeah, you know what? If they're fully feral, actually, I think I'll be mad about that one. Because that's just taking the silly out of Fallout. That's just we didn't want to have to deal with the fact that Fallout is a silly thing. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not bad. I don't use that in a pejorative way. I mean, there are things in Fallout that are just silly. Like dog and God. Also, if I watch this show, am I gonna get spoilers on this casino? Am I gonna get spoilers on the DLC then? Can I not watch the show till I've played all the DLC? Because yeah, I feel like, I don't know, a lot of charm for Fallout comes out of the idea of like, yeah, these are a bunch of people who revere a guy called the King. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do think that's one of the weirdest parts of, like, I think that's one of the weakest parts, I should say, of the Fallout universe in terms of the idea of like, okay, yeah, we get it, 1950s aesthetic lives on forever. So with that in mind, that late stage version of Elvis wouldn't have happened, and also it's very unlikely that the version of Vegas that has that kind of a Elvis doing weddings and stuff like that comes out of the consumerism of the 70s into the 80s. Like that's like for that to have happened, the world would have to be very not 1950s. And for that to happen, like, they would have to not be in their little 1950s Rockwellian time capsule, right up until 2077. You know what I mean? Season 1 has not covered the DLC. I don't know if Season 2 will, but the DLCs are their own stories in new locations. Oh, see, I thought the casino was just a little ways outside of Vegas. I thought it was like a day's journey. But mind you, that doesn't mean, like, listen, at the end of the day, I think the bit is way cooler to have an Elvis impersonation, like, "Hello, King, baby." Like, I think that's way more fun than keeping to what would likely, like, the quote-unquote reality of the situation. Well, now also I'm curious as to what's going to happen about EDE, or if we'll maybe meet or learn anything about it. Also, EDE never revealed all his secrets to me, and MJ, you know, I blame you. MJ, you told me you'd bring me around. Get down, Elio! You told me you'd bring me around to all the little locations to stall me from completing the game. And you don't even bring me to the answers of what all happened with 1 second. Let me maneuver back here for a second, and then this one's gonna be much better at this. The other one's better for killing random undead mobs. Nice. You got anything, you got everything you can get from EDE in the base game. Wait, really? You get nothing other than, like, oh, he worked with the Enclave, but that's it? They give me nothing? I'm devastated. Should I just go read this man's Wikipedia, or is that going to be a problem long term? I've been avoiding Wikipedia for so many characters that I'm so interested in, but I've held off because I was like, we'll be probably doing the DLCs, and what if something comes up, and I don't want to have spoiled myself. Okay, read the last two words. Base. I am pretty based, yeah? Game. I do have game. That's true. That's true. These two words stand alone, as you've told me to read them, are both important and relevant to me as an individual. For I am both based and have just insane game, you know? Where did you get this, Elliot? Elliot, where did you get this? Yeah, no, but where? Well, yeah, Yes, there was a forest that way. Stay away from there, okay? Don't go over that way. That place is weird and freaks me out. Okay? No, it wigs me out. I don't know. I don't know. It's. You ever got a sense of deja vu? I don't know, like a sense you've been somewhere before, or done something before, or feel connected to a thing. I'm not crazy. I'm not. Not really. Yeah, I don't know. My mind's a bit of a mess, dude. Okay, listen. Yeah, well, maybe later I'll take you up on that. God. You are such a loser. What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you saying? How can you say this to me? All I'll tell you is EDE is probably the biggest companion you'll get anything from the DLCs for, followed by my BBG Veronica. Veronica? Who's Veronica? Oh, Brotherhood of Steel. Right, Veronica. Veronica, open the door, please. Right, Dad. Remember her now. Maybe I should have traveled with more than just Boone, because I really do feel like the only people I have any read on are Boone, kind of Raoul, and like the Doctor. And I forget his name. I just know him as the Doctor. I don't even know who he is. You know what I mean? How is this so misaligned? 2, 3, we'll do that, and then it's gonna be bip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3. This is perfectly aligned. Yes. Okay, good. 2, 3. This is kind of an argument I've seen recently, because wouldn't it be nice Beach Boys and Johnny Cash Ring of Fire, and those are from the 60s, but Fallout doesn't just freeze in time at the 50s. Society does progress, it just kind of gets stuck aesthetically in the 50s, because game-wise it's a nice aesthetic, and lore-wise never-ending Red Scare. Oh, totally. Oh no, sorry, I didn't clarify enough of what I meant. When I say Elvis would have been to have the Elvis conversion happen, the whole like Vegas, let me double check, but when did Elvis Vegas residency start? Yeah, so that starts in 1970 basically. So those are from 76. So it's not, so that would be like his Vegas residency would happen. But the whole like, that's the king, like the legend of Elvis post his death, and the like 100 other Elvises who will all like perform marriages and stuff like that. That's very like, because he dies in what, the late 70s as well? Yeah, he dies in 77. So that's very 80s. That's like a very 80s, like post Elvis's death, where like they're all dressed up in the like, which is interesting because the Kings are all dressed up like classic Elvis, which is not who would be like the Vegas Elvis. You know what I mean? Like they're all dressed up like him from Jailhouse Rock. and like, you know, hound dog Elvis. So listen, it's playing fast and loose with it, and I'm fine with it because it's fun. But it is, at least for me, I think, one of the most obvious, like, okay, you guys wanted to pull from something that's a lot more, like, modern than the 50s-esque. Like, let's see if there's an answer to that. Yeah, so fake Elvis marriages in Vegas kind of started into the 80s. When did Fallout 1 releases in 1997? I don't know. I could be wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be a party pooper about it. I'm just saying that, like, I feel like if you're in 97, you're probably not like, yeah, so culture was the same up until 15 years ago. You know what I mean? If you're looking at like the Elvis like marriages that were becoming big in the late 80s, like that was like, oh yeah, so it's like 15, maybe 20 years ago, you can call it. And because those start at Graceland, not even starting in Vegas. But again, I think it's more important to have had fun with it as developers, like to have decided like, no, I think we're doing Vegas as a location, let's have an Elvis faction, is way more fun and true to the spirit of Fallout. I think that's a lot more interesting and like kooky and wacky in a good way, which is why I think it'll be to the detriment of the show if they lose that. You know what I mean? You know more about Elvis than I do, clearly. No, all I'm getting at is the idea that I do think it's one of those things that it's like they just wanted to have a fun Elvis faction. But I do, while I think it goes against the grain of their like inciting idea of like, what if the 50s forever? You know what I mean? I think ultimately, because they don't go into a bunch of the other stuff that in the 80s that is what brought about the idea of like, hey, this guy died, let's start having him being like the marriage guy, you know what I mean, for Vegas. So I think a lot of that wouldn't have happened, but I think it's way more fun and like thematic, I guess, to be like, listen, we're doing a game set in Vegas, Elvis is gonna be involved. Because, like, that's Mr. Vegas, you know what I mean? Like, that is the quintessential Vegas experience, is, like, seeing an Elvis impersonator and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's the quintessential modern Elvis experience, or Vegas experience, but it's still the quintessential Vegas experience. And so I think for New Vegas, it's more important that they did that than it is for them to have done, like, some sort of other alternative, you know what I mean, like a Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin style thing, because they have all that too, but those things are usually clashing. Like by the time that a lot of like the Vegas impersonation stuff is happening, a lot of the mob is becoming less and less in control of Vegas. Also, yeah, I know more. I know. What I know, I should say, about the history of Vegas is largely in relation to the history of the mob, and that's due to just knowing people who take an interest in that. There's a Nixon doll that says, "I'm not a crook" in Fallout 2. That's awesome. But see, even that, I guess in fairness, that still kind of makes sense, because Nixon would have still been vice president in the 50s. You're in the mob? Hey, I got a ghoul, I'm mobbed up. No, I'm not. No, the only mob I'm involved with is Mob Farms. Jesus Christ. Nobody clipped that. Nobody saved that. I'm gonna delete that section of the VOD. This is stupidest joke. Okay, you don't deserve that many air horns. You know what? You got me there. You know what? It was not deserving of that many air horns. It was not that good of a bit. I'll give you that. Oh man. But yeah, because Nixon. Oh god, who was he vice president under? Was he vice president under Ike? Richard Nixon vice presidency. Who was he the vice president for? Dear God, it's a simple question. I don't care about the House of Representatives. I don't care about his time in the Senate. It was like he was nominated for president of the Republican Party. He was a vice president for Ike. Let's go. W. I know my vice presidencies. There are things about the DLC you technically could know, but I'm certain you don't, and I could tell you, but the spoilers. I need to hold myself back. Based, honestly, yeah, sick. I like going into these things blind. It's more fun that way. I feel like I can rest assured in the fact that I know whatever my reaction will be is my genuine like, oh wow, I am actually experiencing this for the first time. But also, MJ, I can't help but read that in my mind, like that segment from Death Note, that audio that goes around occasionally of like, no, I must hold myself back. My revenge will be perfect. Which may have been your intent, in fairness. May have been, like, you may be intentionally trying to do that. But yeah, I do think, yeah, in general, Fallout 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think plays a little fast and loose with what is or is not, like, their canon of, like, yeah, you know, sure, everything ended in the 50s, and we stayed very 1950s-esque forever, because it's like so much of the 50s informs the rest of what becomes Americana of like this 70s. It's one of those things that's like a what if of like culture stopping development for almost a century, or for over a century actually, is kind of one of those fantasy like impossibilities that you just gotta accept. Some things are just like, they're gonna pick and choose what they want to do. It's tempting, but I know I can force you to read those dialogues again after the DLC. What do you mean? Did I miss something in the DLC already? Did something happen and I didn't even notice, and you were just like, he didn't even notice the clear indication that Mr. House is alive? Shivon. Can you imagine? But yeah, actually, I should ask then, for the base game, Fallout New Vegas, what ending do you hope becomes the canon ending? Like, what are you most interested in seeing on the screen? Because, like, for me, I don't think I want the ending that I would pick out of the game, if that makes sense. In the same way that, like, you know how a lot of people got like bent out of shape about the Rings of Power and stuff like that, where they're like, why didn't they just shot for shot recreate what's on the page? And blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't know, for me at least, anytime you're doing an adaptation, like, that game exists. If I want to go play the game Fallout New Vegas and get an experience with Fallout New Vegas as New Vegas, in the way that I want it and intend it to be, I can do that. I can boot up the game. So I'm more interested in seeing an interpretation that actually explores something interesting. Like, for instance, what if Mr. House does win, and then like what does that mean 50 years down the line? Yes, Snap, I know about the Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings. Well, no, I just meant, you know how there's people who get bent out of shape because they change some stuff, and then it's like, how could they? This isn't how it happened. Why didn't they just shot for shot remake what Tolkien wrote? And it's like, because that would be stupid and pointless. Why would you do that? It's written down. It exists. Like, I don't know. For me, adaptation, and I go back and forth on this. Don't get me wrong. I'm a hypocrite. But I think ultimately I like to come down on the idea that adaptation should be allowed to adapt and have a voice and produce and create things that are maybe different. You know, I don't think things should be entirely out of whack per se, or if they're gonna be, you know, call it an Elseworld story. But there's certain things that I'm like, well, I would like, you know, I think any adaptation benefits from, like, you know, for Dune, for example, like Denis Villeneuve's Dune is his Dune, in the same way David Lynch's Dune is David Lynch. It's neither are what Frank Herbert wrote, nor should they be. Because if I wanted that, I could just go read the book. I don't know that. I've never interacted with that franchise. Oh, okay. Well, in any event, there's people who feel that, you know, Tolkien's writing should be preserved and you know, just shot for shot recreate whatever he wrote, which is also just bad movie making. That would be boring. Like, there's lots of things that you can't convey with a shot in a movie. Like, it's a different medium for a reason, you know what I mean? I think it just needs to be remembered culture didn't stop and lots of things were developed throughout 100 years. Just aesthetically, instead of going to modernism and all that, we stuck with the aesthetics of the 50s. Well, no, I get that's the idea, but like the idea that an aesthetic could, like, I think it's kind of a largely in the same way that a lot of people will jump to the conclusion historically that, you know, oh, aesthetics were so set in one way for like the medieval period or whatever. And it's like, no, like they changed all the time. Aesthetics never really last a decade, even before modern times. There are not normally huge swaths of time where everything's exactly the same. For culturally, in terms of, again, not to say that nothing happened, but to say the idea that like, oh, the aesthetics of the 50s could endure is kind of like an impossibility. Which is fine. It's a video game. It's a fun little story of a what if. But my point with that is just that I do think that it's like a try to have your cake and eat it too. Like the aesthetics of the 50s would not have allowed for the Elvis of the 70s to exist. You know what I mean? Like how he looked in the 70s happened because of disco. Which wouldn't have happened because disco never would have happened. Because disco couldn't happen in the 50s. Anyway, I'm fairly certain they're going for a House Wins ending. Ooh! Unless he's a ghost in the machine or something. It seems like the most logical answer. I don't really care, I guess. Obviously, I want Yes Man victory because that's the ending I chose, but I can see where the story is being set. Interesting. So yeah, I think personally, at least, I feel like that's the most liable to be interesting. Of like, oh, something cool can happen out of this. Do I have enough? Yes, I should. Ba. In any event, Fallout's a very interesting franchise. I am more of a fan of it now than I think I ever was. Like before streaming, if you'd asked me, I would have probably written off most every Fallout game. I still prefer the Elder Scrolls, but I definitely appreciate it, I think, a lot more now, having had, which again is just something about, like, where it's like, one, in the same way that it keeps me honest for not, like, searching things up for how to beat levels if I get stuck, and, like, genuinely grinding through them. Like, I would have not continued with that Gearson fight, I don't think, if I weren't streaming it. You know what I mean? I probably would have moved on. But at the same time, well, I guess at the same time, I don't know if I ever would have played Deltarune. But at the same time, I think it also makes me engage more with a storyline in a way that I would have, like, messed around with Fallout and been like, yeah, whatever, it's Fallout, I know what this is. But it makes me be honest and go, okay, let me see if I can get into this. And then I normally find that I can. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can normally find the through lines that are interesting to people, or find something about it that interests me. Which, you know, sign of a good game. You know, that it interests me. Nothing else. Just that my interest is met, you know? That's the sign of a good game. I'll just tell you to move on from Gearson fight. You were there for 10 hours. You wanted to die. Hey, but I won in the end. Well, like I said, and that's why I have such a bad habit about letting, like, I can become grouchy. Sometimes part of a bit. Sometimes it's an over-exaggeration of how I actually feel. Well, oftentimes I should say that's the case. That doesn't mean there's not some truth to the feeling. I'm not gonna lie to you and be like, nah, I was 100% having a great time the whole time. But I'm so glad I stuck with it. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I beat it. And also, it's like, I don't know. I know it was definitely not the most aggravated I've ever been with a game. Like, I've definitely had more, like, more aggravated as, like, that time in Celeste, in the hotel, I think he's probably the most pressed I've ever been with a game on stream, I think. I can't think, which again isn't the end of the world. Like, I wasn't truly, like, as soon as the stream ended, I just, you know, you let out a breath, and I don't carry it with me, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm never actually mad. I'm more like, I'm more just pressed in the moment. And some of it's hammed up because, you know, which then is a feedback loop that actually makes it somewhat real, but like some of it's hammed up because I am making content. But usually there's almost always there's always a genuine kernel to it. And so the trouble for me is balancing when that bit is becoming too real or coming across as being too real in a way that it's like, oh, well, now this isn't a fun thing to watch. This is, Nep's mad. You know what I mean? And I don't want that to be the case. So I have a bad habit of that happening. I think maybe it's because I just don't get frustrated vocally, externally often, if that makes sense. So maybe it's just that, like, it's abnormal to see me that way. I don't know. It's the same way that, like, and I think I was saying this to Mello the other day, was like on stream, but it was I think Mello had asked, and it's like one of those things where it's like, I have a habit of dissecting things that I'm enjoying, which I don't always consider how that comes across to other people. Like, often there's been times where either you or Mello or Tyler or anybody really have been like, nah, please, no, this is my favorite game, don't critique it. And I'm like, well, no, I'm not critiquing it in a way that I dislike it. If I'm critiquing it in the way that I am, or being like, I think this is a bad mechanic, that's because I've given it thought. And I'm like, that's, for me at least, how I kind of show interest in a game to some degree, where I'm like, yeah, I've thought about it enough to actually, like, form an opinion. And And sometimes that opinion's not real. It's me speaking from frustration. Like there's certainly things where I'm like, that's stupid. And it's not really. It's a perfectly legitimate tool. But then there's other things where it's like, I think that's bad design. Like I maintain, as I did, about the Gearson fight, the health thing. I think that's a bad mechanic, but whatever, it's still fun overall. Like it's still interesting. It is also one of those things where it's a bittersweet thing of like, man, yeah, I still never did win. I got enough stars, and you know, the next sections, as you showed in the subtext, I was like, dear God. I think I saw those and I like turned off my computer. I was like, my God. I read through your post. I meant to respond to it actually because it was a well summarized piece on the fight, and I think it purely just looked at it in utter disgust. I think I was like, dear God, Tobias Fox, your days are numbered, pal. When I get my hands on you. You want to criticize Portal 2 with me? Ooh. Why you say ooh like you're doing like a like. Oh, I used to be able to do that. I used to be able to do a cool little worry noise. I can't do it anymore. I used to be. I'd have to really work at it to get it back. Alas, some sunny day. No, you certainly won. Those last moves are BS. What is the thing? It's like, yeah, those last moves, I was like, brother, what am I meant to be doing against that? Even the very last thing I faced, where it's like tiny corners, is where you have to go or you take the damage. And I was like, bro, Gearson, there's no way. I want to watch you spar with Undyne. What's going on here? This is criminal activity. Bop. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, it just won't have any. It just won't have a tower. Because if it had a tower, then that would be here and here. Oh wait, no, is it perfectly length for a tower? Wait a minute, am I an idiot? 1, 2. Nope. It's not. It would be a thick tower. Well, this one's stairs anyway. It doesn't need to be a tower. It comes out to 7 and 7 and just doesn't have tower bits. It's fine. Perfect. And now we're back on track for everything else because it's 7 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Give me a ooh. Oh. I'm curious now who the actual boss of this chapter will be. Though, and don't tell Mello this, I don't know when we're getting back to Deltarune. Because, like, I can't play it Mondays, and potentially the next 2 Fridays are busy. Like, I was like, man, it may be 3 weeks before we get back to Deltarune. Just by pure just limitation of the fact that I can't do Mondays. Something I did learn is that Susie's heal ability is initially named something like Awesome Heal, and as chapters go on and she gets criticized, it gets renamed again and again and just Heal, and the description got a lot less confident to the point where she just won't use Heal in battle. The Gearson tricks her into healing Jagazine, and it gives her confidence, and she levels it up to okay Heal. Then after Gearson fight, it becomes better Heal because he's traded. Ah! Devastated. Rousey, when I get my hands on you! Oh my god. I am so intrigued by what the dynamic there is meant to be, because I'm like, dude sucks. I don't know why he's putting Susie down in a way that I'm like, hey man, this both seems out of character, but also like, I don't know if I trust him anymore. Like I'm gauging it off of how he treats Susie, and I'm kind of like, man, and also how he like wouldn't accept that like he's alive. I don't know. He seems off. Sounds like a lot of time to get into New Vegas. My God. Well, no. We already said all Minecraft. It's all Minecraft till the end of the year. MJ, we said this. We said this. You specifically requested it. You said, gee Willikers Nap, you've only done 23 of 50 streams. You need to get at least halfway to, you need to get 50. You need a lot of Minecraft. We're gonna have to do a bunch of nap weeks. My God. All Minecraft all the time. It's the only way. And I said, gee, okay, MJ, we can do that if it's what you really want. Well, I don't know anything about the boss of chapter 4, so I'm going in with you in 3 weeks. Yo. Yeah, well, I guess Mello said they only just beat the boss too, right? So it's all probably pretty fresh. My internet went funky. Oh, it went to Funky Town. Trick Tony sent out a newsletter saying chapter 5 should come out next year, so we hopefully won't have to wait 4 years this time. Oh god, I had forgotten that is a factor as well. That like after this is done, it won't be the end of the game. It'll literally be the end of a chapter. It's like, yeah. Well, who knows when the rest is coming out? Why must onions be so violent? Oh, Hubert, are the onions making you tear up? Are you crying? You got the onion tears. Well, hi, how's it going? Okay. You get to experience the wait with the rest of us, mostly about. Maybe I just won't finish chapter 4 then, eh? Maybe I just won't. And that way I won't have to experience no way, you know? I'll just be like, oh, good. It's here. Rousey man really doesn't think of himself as a person, and the only thing is a carrier of the prophecy or something. Silly. What a silly little ram. Doesn't he know? Of course he's a person. He does all the Peanuts dance. He goes. I just got down a pound of onions with a mandolin. Oh my god. Well, I hope you were wearing a finger guard. Mandolins are dangerous. You can lose your finger. Are you like making onion soup or a French onion dip or something? Or just like, what possibly could be your reason? A pound of onions. That is so many. What could possibly be your reasoning for a pound of onions? I'm curious. Pray tell. What has brought on this onslaught of onion? Up. Also, cut down is such a fun way of phrasing that, as always, like just lumberjacking through onion trees. All right, let me cut it this way so that I can go pop, 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 pop. Did I just not get far enough? Oh yeah, I just didn't get far enough. Oh, it was too back. Ah, jeez. Soup. Nice. French onion soup, or just like one that required a lot of onions? I have like 10 pounds of onions that are about to go bad. Well, you know what? Soup's a good way to use them up. Same with you can make an onion jam with not for like toast, but like it's an onion jam by cooking down the onions so that you can make either dips or they're good on, like, you could add it into a million different things, but good at adding to like caramelized onions into like truly caramelized, like I mean browned into a jam like consistency. Bam. Highly recommend it. Great way. It also adds some extra days of preservation. I mean, they're cooked, so you know you gotta use it after that. But extra days. Oh man, I could really go for some French onion soup now. I don't know where I would get some right this second, but like, my God, my kingdom for French onion soup. Which is of course different from villager named Soup, who is a person. I'll send you some. I like to think that means you're gonna just load it up into like a catapult. Like, I'll just be minding my own business when a hot steaming bowl of French onion soup hurls itself at Mach 2 into the back of my head. And you know what? What a way to go. They'll write on my gravestone, he died how he lived, you know? Lived and died by the soup. It's what a world. Not a bad, you know what? Of all the ways to go, not a bad one. There's worse. Could have died in the molasses explosion, you know? Or was there one with beans at one point? Was there an explosion of baked beans somewheres in American history that I'm blanking on? Or am I just conflating that with the molasses? I feel like there was a second thing, not molasses related, that was also an like a comical explosion. I mean, not for the people involved, like a horror to behold and participate in, I'm sure. But by God, does it sound comedic in practice, you know? This isn't like a thunderstorm, right? Okay, good. Now, have you seen us roleplay as the Ninjago babies? Oh, you mean like how your Discord emote is, or your like Discord profile picture is now like a Lego person? That? I've noticed that. I've noticed that you have a Lego person for. Is that Ninjago related? There was a few flour mills that blew up. Yeah, but that's not what I feel for some reason I had baked beans in my, I don't know why. The Ninjago babies were watching Scream. That's not good Ninjago. Wait, the Ninjago babies were watching Scream. That's not. Are you phrase this like both an explanation and also like you're talking to the Ninjago babies. Like you're like, that's not good, Ninjago baby. Hey, Ninjago babies, don't do that. Also, what do you mean Ninjago baby? Like Muppet babies? Is that still a thing? People are still doing the classic, like, what if character, but baby? Boy, baby, boy, boy, No, I gotta know. There's gotta be a, famous food-related explosions in flour mill, sugar refinery. Well, that's just horrific. Chocolate factory. Oh, that's like 2 years ago. That's not what I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't see anything about beans. I have the Great Devourer from Lego Ninjago's buy profile. Sure. The Great what? I tell you, I gotta learn something about this Ninjago. Like, Oliver has done his darn diddly artist, and I really ought to. I really ought to just hop on a call with that man at some point and have him just relay. I'll do a stream at some point. That's just it's just gonna be Oliver with a PowerPoint, like a Microsoft PowerPoint presentation on everything about Ninjago, except it'll be his perspective, and therefore that one robot guy will be like the coolest person ever. There was an episode where they all turned into kids. Classic, like I said. That's what I meant. Like, I didn't realize we're still doing that. That's like the classic cartoon thing. Like, oh, all these like teen to adult age characters have been made little children or babies. Ooh, bat. Crazy. There was one, I think, for like Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes. There was one for like Batman Brave and the Bold. There's one for Justice League. A lot of superhero. That makes it sound like I watched only superhero things as a kid. In fairness, it happened a lot. In fairness, it had the Spider-Man. It happened. It happened a lot in superhero media specifically. Now that I think about it. Then again, I can't think of too many other mediums that would be involved with getting like magically turned into children. In fairness, or babies. Angel is the Great Devourer because of the way that they are. So now, whenever we do something in VC, like watch Watchmen or play adult game, it looks like a bunch of Lego babies experiencing something too mature for them. Shut up, that's stupid. That's awesome, but that's so stupid. Oh, that's great. That's I don't know where you guys come up with it, but by God, I think that's funnier than anything I've ever said on stream. Oh, that's awesome. My onions turned pink. Were they red onions? And/or did you add something to make them turn pink? Why are they pink? What do you mean? Are they gone bad already? When you said about to go bad, did you mean they were spoiled? And you just chose to use them anyway? Human? I think I fixed it. It was up I had specifically. I love the stream video is delayed behind the audio. Oof. May need to reload then. I don't think anything. I have a stable connection. It should be fine. It's a game of who's gonna break, who's gonna turn their profile picture back first. I kind of assume my girlfriend would change her back because she's not that involved in the Mel gang, but she still has it, and it's silly and cute. mean, maybe Tyler wasn't involved. I assumed he was in the first go around. Isn't Tyler's back to being Tyler? Like, it's his little drawn like figure. I just what the hell? I just clicked on Tyler's name in the Discord and it was instantly flashbanged with I don't even know what specific. Good for them, whoever they are, I guess. Good for those two. Whatever comic that's from. Dear Lord. This is why I don't check Discord. Oh, whoever those drawn characters are. Nap check Discord. Oh, Dios mío. They were red, but instead of going translucent, they went pink. Oh, red onions. Oh, if they're red onions, then that's normal for those. So you could have a server profile. I went all in because I commit to the bit. My God. Okay, so like the image is funny, but I'm also not past the name of the individual that sent it. Oh my God. Maybe it's a combination of the fact that I just got flashbacked by some yaoi comic or whatever on Tyler's profile picture, and also now whatever alive but gay is, but dear Lord. What a time to be alive. I need to stop checking Discord. I need to just log in and mine my stone and dirt and build my little garden. I just need to build my little courtyard and never mind the Ninjago babies or whatever else is going on. Oh my God. Oh, Dios mío. Oh, that's Tyler. Someone made a meme stating where each Ninjago character is the first season of the reboot. Yes, the show was rebooted, and Cole was labeled alive but gay, which was bad, I guess. Okay, that doesn't explain. Never mind. I don't want an explanation for the other part. Never mind. What a time to be alive. Well, where's the robot baby, huh? Is that even possible? Does he get turned into a baby, or is he a robot and so he can't? Or does he get turned into, like, what, a coil? Like, what happens? Also, is the Eternal Devourer or whatever angel is that also a baby in this context? Bop, 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 bop. I'm so confused as to the rules of baby Ninjagos. My God, do you think they ever made any? You think that, like, are there sets? Did they ever make like minifigs for the baby Ninjago characters? Is that something that is like people can own or build? I guess it's probably just their regular face, but with like a tinier or like a different hairstyle, right? I don't know what the regular people. I don't know what the regular Ninjago ninjas look like, other than discount Power Rangers. No offense. I just literally mean they're kind of just Power Rangers, but like in a different font, you know, which isn't a bad thing, you know. No, the Great Devourer is a giant snake that eats everything. Right, of course, like Jormungandr, okay. IRS, the big villain of the... I'm sorry, the IRS is the big villain? Wait, how What the heck? How are taxes the big villain? What do you mean? We just ran out of Ninjago babies and angels. Whole thing is eating, so it was a natural fit. Okay, yeah, but like, back it up. What do you mean the IRS is the big villain of the first season of Ninjago? You know I meant it. I did not know that you meant it. You wrote IRS. That's a very specific acronym. My God. Well, now I wish the IRS was the big villain, you know? Now this is less whimsical. Somehow the IRS being involved was kind of funny. They made minifigs of all of them. They made minifigs of the babies. Now I gotta know. No, now I gotta. I don't see any. I don't see any. I did a quick little Google. I'll bid you to Lego. See what I can do. Oh, thank God. Well, I know you have an in. You know, being one of the baby Ninjago. Is that the right word for it? Like, is that... I feel like what one of them pair, like, is this your Pokemon? Is this? Oh, I feel so old and in the way. Hey, what is that there? Is that there the Pikachu? Yes, of course.
Please make sure to vote tomorrow. But only if you are going to vote for who and or what I want to win. This message is paid for and agreed upon by Napoleon VII.
When did I say, oh my God, when did I say anything about approving any message? My God. Also, Tyler, oh my God. You know what? Never mind. I don't want to know. I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask. I hope you're doing well. The IRS is the main villain. This is where we find out that Totally Human's all of the subs from Totally Human have been a money laundering scheme to avoid the IRS, and I am now somehow implicated in it. Oh my God. Doesn't want people to vote. Understood. No, that's not what I said. What I said was that I don't implicitly agree to any statement that you've made. You can't just say Nap has agreed to this. Showing them the Ninjago babies, and he was shocked and appalled by two gay men in your Discord better. When did I say I was appalled? Shocked, I'll give you that, on account of the fact it was unexpected because I clicked on Tyler's name and got flashbanged with it, but that's not appalling. Appalling? What is this? Some kind of like sidekick character from the new Donkey Kong game? Way-oh! I thought it was clever. No, I thought it was a good joke, you know? Listen, I thought that wasn't half bad. All things considered. I say Barbie movies, and he assumes the one singular recent Barbie movie, but when MJ says IRS instead of it, Nebs assumes it's actually the IRS. What? We've talked about the IRS at length on this channel. I try not to implicitly agree with anything Tyler says, but you do sometimes get yaoi flashbanged. You know, the number of times has increased exponentially since I started streaming. I can't lie. The sheer volume of the sheer volume of yaoi flashbang that I've experienced since streaming, astronomically increased numbers. If it was on a bar graph, it would be a skyrocketing figure. Fortunately, sometimes your boyfriend or Mello have the wrong opinion, and you do. Huh? Oh, you're talking to Tyler. I don't need to translate whatever that meant. My God. Oh, speaking of Tyler, you have this month, all right? You have this month for the, well, you have this month. I love my boyfriend. Retweet if you have a loving partner. Is that still allowed on Twitter? Is that still... Don't tell him that he's gonna abuse you. But no, he's not allowed to do that. He knows he's not allowed to do that. I told him he's not allowed to do that. Bop. Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six. Wait, what? Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept. Un, deux, trois. Un, deux. Wait, no, that's not the right place. It is a hotel. I'm in no position financially. See, there you go, bing, boom. For his own personal gain, Tyler is unable. No, don't financially abuse anybody. That's not the answer. The answer cannot possibly always be financial abuse. Oh, God almighty. I just wanted him to know for the maximum length of time because we're started, like, because it's the beginning of the month. Not as like a long-term indicator, but as a I don't want him to be like, nah, I didn't know. And I'd be like, well, you asked. This is just to follow up on his own request from last month. Tu as une, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept. And then it's going to be un, deux, trois. How did I do it over there? I did. Yeah, so then it's gonna be 3. Oh wait, no, it should have started back here. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Okay. I still maintain that's the single greatest moment in animated history. That's hyperbole, but then just the real chill, like, break character, just like okay, just hands up, just waiting, and then just wham, tree branch. And why are you telling Tyler? Because he asked. What do you mean? I was telling he asked me last month to do this and then also tell him when I did this. It is live on stream. I'm pretty sure it was a stream on was it a stream on the 17th? I think it was like the 17th or something like that. Anyway, I have a sticky note. He told me to remind him. I said I'd write it down. I'm following through. This is in no way an indicator. Also, it'll come again. Don't ever financially abuse anything. We've been over that. That is a strict thing. Pop. MJ was talking to you, but not everything is about you now. Well, first of all, everything is about me. First and foremost, everything. Every little thing. It's all about me. Second of all, how dare you? Indeed. Wait, no, I need more. No, why? Or you can always ask for picnic for my birthday, as that is the president once said. Truly, nothing can ever change under the bully of the 7th channel. No president can ever be unprecedented. And there can never be new precedents set. So true, so true. And for that reason, we're never checking Discord again. My God, what a choice. Because that was the original precedent. I love setting precedents. Do you now? Is that so, huh? Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave. We vote for a president every 4 years. That's not how that works. No. You vote for lots of things more commonly. Speaking of, by the way, the title of today's stream. Double check. Lots of things come due in November. Lots of local, municipal, state election. Like lots of elections happen throughout November every year. If you're not sure, double check nothing's going on in your area. Even small time things, even things like school board of trustees or town councilors or any of these things. These are all important elections. In fact, those other ones largely, for most people, will affect them on the day-to-day more often than something like a federal election, because it's actually more likely to utilize your own personal municipal taxes and the like. And so, you know, highly recommend you double check, make sure you're registered to vote, and go vote. Anyway, I gotta go. I can't wait for Stream Friday, which is 100% happening and not canceled due to you having prior commitments. So true, so true. Oh wait, no, it's not. There is no Stream Friday, King. I have a job, unlike you. Before you respond with DoorDash, I have a real job. Tyler, how dare you, first of all. DoorDash is a real job. Get out of here. My man just said delivery service. It's not a real job. One of the oldest jobs that existed. My mom keeps pestering me for a real job? That makes no sense. It is a legitimate and real job. I can't speak to anybody else's proclivities, but genuinely, like that, I didn't mean that as a bit. But I am sorry to hear that. It is never fun to be pestered in such a way. It's also just never fun to have what you do be put down in some capacity, or to be made to seem like lesser than kind of thing. That's really uncool. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that, dude. It's fine, no biggie. See, you say that. Still seems cruddy. Is there something off here? One second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, it just is only too wide on this side, I guess. I wonder if I should... 1, 2, 3, yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, right, it's the right length. It's just slightly off on that side. You know, if I don't include that one stone, though, it's good. 2, 3. Oh, but then this is not quite back far enough. So I do need the 1. Three and nah, I guess it's gotta be. All right, well. Oh, nighttime. You're counting in French? I was, yes. Whether or not they want their tax dollars to continue going towards 3 big companies that are currently in contract. The reason they are voting on it is because those big 3 companies are also funding Israel. A lot of members in the town were like, we don't want our money going towards that. So they got the signatures and now it's on the ballot. So remember to vote. So true. There's also, lots of decisions like that being put onto ballots right now. So absolutely get informed, get registered and vote. Voting is not a once every 4-year thing. Or even once every 2-year thing for the it's a constant annual thing, if not multiple times throughout the year for runoff elections and by-elections and the like. I should start looking for a big job eventually, but I've been in kind of a rut ever since graduated. I need to get the ball rolling. Is there like a specific field that you'd like to work in? Bah. Or are you just looking for something steady, or? Not that you gotta explain your whole life to me. I'm just kind of asking out of the fact that I'm a little curious. But don't feel like you gotta justify anything to me. I also very much appreciate that it can be annoying to be grilled on such a subject. Didn't I have a really long message I streamed? I did! Wow, that's a lot more genuine message about voting than what you put in the Discord, Tyler. We gotta go vote! Yo, no idea what you mean, FJ. By-elections? You're telling me these elections like men and women? Well, I don't know about that, but I can tell you men and women alike voting them. So, you know? Ba-dum-bum. Hey, nanny. Wing. No. Okie dokie. Perfect. So they should come up there. Okay, let me run back and grab some more. I guess let me empty out some of my inventory first. Can I purge anything to here? This is almost awful. I can set it into the actual storage bins. Why not? Why does he stare away from me? He could have been my friend. Teaching art to kids is kind of the goal at the moment. Yo, sick, dude. But I haven't had the desire to go for it right now. My mom keeps suggesting positions and openings. I know it's the end goal, but I haven't really want to do it at the moment. I don't want to do it long term, but not right this second. Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Is like. Also, part of it is it's fine to take some time. You know what I mean? You don't gotta be in a huge rush to like get the ball rolling. The ball, like, you can eventually do so. It's important to have goals and to pursue those goals, and it's a healthy thing to do. But at the same time, it's also healthy to, you know, take some breathing time. Especially when, at least for yourself, you've likely been in some form of education for the last 12 to 15 years kind of thing, and then just like it's been go, and so, you know, lots of people take gaps. It's all about trying to find out what works best for you, King. Saying not this second for a while now. I need a regular full-time job, eventually at least. Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's the thing, is it's part of, you know, moving forward and moving on is an important element of that is, yeah, finding the full-time kind of gig that works for you, or finding at least a gig that you don't mind so much being more permanent or more full-time, even if it's not necessarily your end goal gig at the time. Stepping stone gigs, so to speak. But I'm still making money with DoorDash. I'm maintaining. And there's nothing wrong with, maintaining, so long as you're just in a calm of the river and it's not so much that you're looking to dam it up. I mean, obviously, always do whatever with your life. It's up to you, Gig. But I'm a big believer in the idea that things happen at different paces for different people, and there's an importance to that. I don't know if that makes sense, but at least for me, I'm a big proponent of that idea. I think there's a lot of focus in today's society on like this constant centrifugal force forward of motion in terms of a quote unquote career, and then that gets into the conversation of what is like a career versus having a job kind of thing, and then that's a whole other thing. But I think in large part it's kind of just about finding like what works to facilitate a life that you enjoy. If you currently enjoy where you are and you are able to facilitate it and meet the things you need to do, and both the challenges you want to meet and then provide the things you want to provide to the people you want to provide for, and enjoy and experience things and the like, then great. If there's more things you want to do that you can't currently do as you are, then yeah, looking downriver is probably a good idea to start glancing at. At least for me, that's how I tend to try to take things, as to whether or not I'm like in a good holding pattern or not. Like for instance, there's a work that I currently do is useful to me because it helps to facilitate me being able to continue to do this alongside the incredibly and beyond too generous contributions of numerous people in chat. Not Totally Human obviously being the most obvious, but many, including yourself and the like. But it's one of those things of it's something that I don't enjoy the work of that itself, but I enjoy the freedoms it does provide me in a loose schedule to be able to still have my Mondays and Fridays to stream and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I certainly like your advice, and that's how I'm taking it, I think. I can't say what is or isn't the right way to live. All I can say is that I think the get up and go of the modern society is very counterintuitive to a lot of human existence, and the more static existence and the more peace that can come with some stasis. But the important thing is to not become stagnant. It's to still find a place in that river to swim in, even if it's not a rushing rapid and it's just a slow meandering stream. You should always still be moving. But sometimes that just means curling around in a little shallow for a little bit before you continue on downstream. That's what I was gonna go cut those into smooth, or not smooth, but you know what I mean, chunked squares. I don't know. I can't speak for yourself or your own personal experience, obviously, but for me, it's definitely been something that's been both on my mind and that I've struggled with and worked through and continue to try to work through in terms of a whole the question that's been eternal since time immemorial, and also is in every movie ever, of like, what am I doing with my life? But I think that question comes with lots of easy answers and some answers that are not so easy to find, and sometimes it's about waiting for those answers to come. Not always. Sometimes we know. I think you're a smart cookie. I think you'd know if you had met the time where it was time to broaden horizons or look beyond and the like. But it's about whether or not that's right now or not, and only you can answer that, King. Anyway, I don't mean to grill you on your life or nothing like that. I'm busy building sandcastles in Minecraft. you know, the real important work of society, as we all know. This right here, major contributions. I don't have a response, but I agree with the sentiment. Hey, yeah. So long as if it was even just interesting to hear or a sentiment to agree with, that's all I care about, King. I'm just kind of people yapping about my own experience and hoping that is in any way helpful or reassuring for other people. I hear you and I see you. Yo, thank you. And much vice versa, I think. At least as you've explained. What I'm saying is become a Minecraft streamer, MJ. It's the only route forward. It's truly the only foolproof plan in life. Bet it all on black. Become a Minecraft streamer. Let me sleep. Oh, whatever. Monsters are nearby. Monsters. Oh. You know, one thing, total change in subject. One thing that I was gonna say was, because it's funny, a few streams ago, or probably about a month and a half ago, I was talking about how I was like, I really can't justify. No, I still don't think I can. But like a PS5 or whatever for Ghost of Yotei, and I'll just wait for it to come to PC, and you know, hopefully pray that it will come to PC someday, because dear God, I want to play that game. But I then also see, ever since, new trailers keep coming out for games that I'm like, ooh, that'd be pretty fun. Only on PS5. Ow! Since when does this game? When did this console get games? Devastated. Because for the longest time I was like, yeah, it's got Astro, but that's it. But now it's getting the Mouse PI game. Have you ever seen? I assume you would have seen the Mouse PI game, because that thing's sick. That thing looks awesome. I want to play that game so badly. I just love, even just its art style is amazing. I don't know if I had ADHD. My sister is diagnosed, but I'm not. But the biggest red flag is the fact that I get really deep into projects and drop them last minute. Is that a factor of ADHD? I have not seen the Mouse game. Oh, MJ, surely. Yo, one second. This is vital. This is important. Yeah. I don't know if it's an ADHD thing, just locking in on one thing and then moving on, but I tried streaming. That's fair. In fairness, streaming may not be for everybody. I mean, I mean this somewhat tongue-in-cheek. I don't mean it as a true dunk, but honestly, I'm taking this as a W, meaning that I can't possibly have the ADHD you all keep ascribing me, because I'm 40 years into this whole streaming thing. So evidently, you know, I think that has to mean na boo boo, you're wrong. Bada bing, bada boom, you know? Surely that's what that means, right? Idoki, this should then. Yeah, man, all the projects you started not finished on the hardcore will certainly can't mean anything. Okay, that's different though. That's listen, wait a minute, hold on a second. No, but here, look at this. See, it's this game called Mouse PI for Hire. You've definitely seen it at one of the Game Awards or something like that we've watched. This thing looks sick. Because it's done in that like classic
8 digits, 8 shots. Could crack a safe. Could mark a date. Only one way to know. Find the numbers before they find me.
Steamboat Willie-esque style. Yeah, see, it was even Steamboat Willie. This is literally... It's actual gameplay footage, you know, or whatever. This thing looks so stylistic and fun. It's very Cuphead-esque, I guess, as well, you could call it. They've been working on this thing for forever. Also, Doom.
Well. Guess that just made my day.
Way! Release date, way! Anyway, it's been something that's been waited on for forever, so it's truly like this long-term hoping to come out game that's been in the pipeline for, I want to say, like a decade. Not quite, it's been 5 years or something like that, but still, I don't think I have seen this, but it's very stylistic and fluid and crazy. Those are just Keganomis from Dune. Yeah, no, I mean, it's homaging a bunch of different games. I mean, it literally had a Steamboat Willie. I think it has an actual deep dive that came out that's like 17 minutes of like actually getting into it and stuff like that. But dude, it's so cool. Like, genuinely, what a cool game. What a fun and exciting little game. Oh, man. There's something about, like, hyper stylistic games like that I'm just such a sucker for, you know? I don't know what it is, but, like, Cuphead has that similar, like, art style, but not as black and white. I mean, the black and white lets them make it, like, ink instead of blood and so many things. I'm interested. I don't know if I'd pick it up, but it definitely looks really cool advancement in the art. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna, well, I mean, if it stays a PlayStation 5 exclusive, I won't be picking it up, I guess. If it were on Steam or PC or whatever, then I'd probably pick it up and we'd stream it, because that just looks fun. That just looks like a good time. Even if it were just a one-off stream, it just seems like a fun little jaunt. Speaking of, we gotta finish Indiana Jones at some point. If we do another, if which I guess after this, the next sub goal will probably be another nap week that we'll do through December, and I'll probably try to get it to be like. If we do it, I'll take a poll on if people want it to be the regular times, or if they want Monday and Friday to stay normal and then have like throughout the day kind of thing. Because I actually may have some time off away from other things through December. It'll depend. I replace sherry with red wine vinegar, right? Or I can replace sherry with red wine vinegar. Actually, I don't think so. I think those are different flavors. Sherry's a lot more like cooking. Sherry is a lot more like salty. I want to say it's more like sherry is usually a good replacement for like Shaoxing wine, used for cooking like a lot of stir fries and stuff like that. Maybe though, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering red wine vinegar, but I don't think so. I want you to finish Indiana Jones. I know the ending, and I think you will find it interesting. Ooh, I've actually avoided any and all spoilers about it, which is super fun for me. I think it got really, Egypt was fun, but not as fun as the Vatican or the ship on the Himalayas. I think the set piece was cleaner there. I think it does not do so hot in an open world-esque. I think the Egypt dig site was too open world. Honestly, I think like for the type of game it is. Oh well. Yeah, I don't think it would ruin anything. It would just be a different flavor palette. 38 more days until they definitely announce Half-Life 3 at the Game Awards. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to stream the Game Awards as well. Have they announced what's up for Game of the Year yet? Probably not. That's probably going to be a 30-day out thing. Egypt seemed pretty empty, yes. Yeah, it like was weirdly the most amount of things to go off and do, but the least like filled out portion of the game, if that makes sense. Like a lot of cool stuff was happening, but it was very disjointed in a way that I don't know. I think they could have done a better job on that level. Egypt was like is a very, you know, classic setting for Indiana Jones. It's like where a whole chunk of the first movie and the third movie take place. Nominees mid-November. Well, anyway, Janice, we're probably gonna end up, I think. Just because I don't want to lose my voice. I've been having a semi-sore throat for the last week and a half. I don't know why. I don't know if I've just abused it for 4 years streaming and that's catching up to me or what. But my God, 4 hours is not so easy on the vocal cords as it once was. But anyway, Janice, I hope you all had a good time. I enjoy getting to pick away at some Minecraft. It was wonderful. But in any event, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Fantastic rest of your week. Jingle, jingle more. Jingle, 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 jingle more. How do you know me so well? How do you know me so well as to what's gonna coax me out? My God, my God. Anyway, Janice, have a wonderful rest of your evening. A great rest of your week. And I'll see you next time. Watch it. Bye, chat. Bye, chat.